HD1 Indianapolis. It's 6 o'clock.
A warning to Iran. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump posted it just 3 hours ago on Truth Social on a sixth day of protests that have led to 7 deaths. He wrote, if Iran violently kills peaceful protesters, the U.S. will come to their rescue, adding we're locked and loaded and ready to go, prompting an Iranian official to reply that the U.S. and Israel are stoking the demonstrations. An American intervention would cause chaos in the region and destruction of U.S. interests. Now to another adversary.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro suggesting he's open to talks with Washington following months of American military pressure. In an interview on state TV, Maduro said, quote, wherever they want and whenever they want, in a reference to a dialogue with the U.S. on drug trafficking, oil, and immigration.
That's Fox's Anita Vogel. The U.S. military has blown up more boats this week, said to be trafficking illegal drugs off the coast, killing more alleged narco-terrorists. It's up to 115 deaths in the operation that started 4 months ago. They're in mourning in Switzerland. The 40 people killed when a disaster struck as people celebrated in a bar an hour and a half into the new year.
10 helicopters and 40 ambulances rushed to the scene after police say a fire broke out at the Constellation bar in Crans, Montana. According to BFM TV, 2 French witnesses say champagne bottles with sparklers caught the wooden ceiling on fire. Panicked partygoers frantically ran for their lives out of the basement, up the narrow stairs, and out of the door.
Fox's Stephanie Bennett. 115 others in the bar were injured. In Colorado, a woman was found dead in a hiking trail by other hikers. Her body next to a mountain lion they chased away, suspected and to be attacked and killed by a mountain lion in Colorado, the first since 1999. New York City has a new mayor, a socialist, Zoran Mondani, and Fox's Rebecca Castro reports.
He got straight to work after taking his oath of office at midnight on January 1st. He announced 5 executive orders yesterday, including ones focused on housing and protecting tenants.
We will govern without shame and insecurity.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The Hoosiers deliver a beatdown in Pasadena. Radar clear in downtown Indianapolis, 21 degrees. It's only going up to 31 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Good morning. Here's what's trending at 6:02.
Here's the snap back to Fernando. Has time. Rowan over the middle. He's got Becker. Oh, what a catch! Charlie Becker! Touchdown, Indiana! Tremendous throw by Fernando Mendoza.
Don Fisher with the call on the IU radio network from Learfield as the Hoosiers pulled ahead. That catch by Becker put IU up 10-0. They didn't let up, cruising to a 38-3 win over Alabama in the Rose Bowl to advance in the college football playoff.
We had this planned out, during film. We were like, this is going to be open, so just be ready. And when the time came, I'm just happy that I was able to, me and Fernando would have that connection.
And Becker speaking with Wish TV right after the game. Top-ranked IU heads to next Friday's Peach Bowl for a matchup with Oregon, just 2 wins away from a national title. Indianapolis recorded its first homicide of 2026 early this morning. The cops were called to the Near East Side along North Tuxedo Street, just off of East 10th and North Sherman, for a report of a crash. But when they got there, they found a man inside of a car. He had been shot. He was taken to the hospital, and that's where he died. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is bringing charges against an Indianapolis broker. Jarrett Lewis with the details.
It's 3 counts of fraud. 61-year-old Gerardo Linarducci was officially charged with that after the SEC says he stole millions of dollars from investors through his company's Real Estate Acceleration Loans program. Linarducci was a former managing partner of Drive Planning LLC based in Atlanta, but with an office in Indiana that he ran. The SEC claims Linarducci played a major role in Drive Planning's Ponzi scheme that resulted in them stealing over $330 million from people all across the country, including in Indiana. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And as Indianapolis rang in the new year, hospitals across the city welcomed their first babies at Franciscan. A first baby is born at 1:16. A few minutes later at Eskenazi, a baby was born at 1:25. And at Community Health, they welcomed a baby at 3:33. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together on a Friday morning next. It is 6:04.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
All right, check it out. Westbound 70 coming in from Hancock County. Good morning, everybody. Looking good from State Road 9 into 465 on the east side. It's a 9-minute trip right now. No delays. As you hit the ramps, whether it be the entrance ramps to the interstates or the exit ramps, watch them and please be careful. Could have some ice on them this morning. If you're going to the airport, westbound 70, fantastic from downtown out to the airport collector with Ronald Reagan Parkway and Ameriplex. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey, are you available? No, maybe not. I like that we had the little tone there that says, no, he's not available. Okay, let's move on to the weather myself. Cold is what I'm going to say for right now. We'll fix that a little bit later in post. It is 6:06 Friday morning. Tony Katz, the morning news. 93 WIBC. My bad with some of that there. I do have the weather in front of me, though, now. Partly sunny, 32 is the high today. Cloudy, 24 for tonight. And then cloudy and 35 tomorrow. So cold was right. It's 20 degrees right now. Feels like 13 with wind chill. So it's December, or, well, January now out there. So enjoy, everybody. All right. My name is Craig Collins, filling in for Tony Katz one more time. And then he is back next week. For me, I like it. The additional shifts over the holidays are coming to an end. I'm kind of sad about that. But it's been fun to be here as a part of WIBC for the last couple weeks. And way to go, IU, by the way. Real quick, that was awesome. A 38-3 beatdown of Alabama. Would a Notre Dame IU game have been more competitive and more fun? My guess is yes. A lot more fun, actually, to watch those two schools play each other in that state or just in general. But darn it, doesn't matter. None of that happened. Instead, IU beat the absolute crap out of Alabama. Way to go. Let's see how far IU goes. It does seem like a team that actually legitimately has a chance to become the national champion, which is incredible to think about the transition at that school from what it was a certain number of years ago to what it is right now. And what it's probably likely to be for the foreseeable future. IU has changed its football, I don't know, just everything. Its football future, its football outlook in a way that not many schools, not many places are able to transform themselves. All right, let's talk about not that. Let's talk about other things out there. I thought this was interesting. CBS News in the new year told us that they have been screwing up and they promised to change. Now, what I love most about this is that they're admitting the fact that they've been screwing up for a long time. What I like least about this is them promising to change, because I don't think it'll happen. I don't care who's in charge and where they're in charge. I think that there's too many people inside these newsrooms who are far left individuals who let their opinions leak into the way that they cover news. So I think that anybody saying, we promise we'll do better, you actually have to put a lot of people in positions of even not a lot of power, but some semblance of power to make that change real. I don't see that truly coming to a lot of mainstream media, but who knows? I do want to play this audio of them saying that we've screwed up, we've done this and that wrong, and we need to do a better job, because at least admitting it is a part of the process.
A lot has changed since the first person sat in this chair, but for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to.
Nope.
And it's not just us. It's all of legacy media. And I get it. I get it because I've been hearing about it from just about everybody for more than 20 years as I've traveled America on this assignment or that. My mom's neighbors in West Virginia, my own neighbors in New York City. Thousands and thousands of conversations in between.
I got to be honest, man. If your own neighbors don't trust you, that seems a little interesting. But thank you for going that far and admitting to this. Go ahead.
Sometimes people want to talk to me about our coverage of NAFTA or the Iraq War. Other times it's all about Hillary Clinton's emails or Russiagate. Or more recently, COVID lockdowns, Hunter Biden's laptop, or the president's fitness for office. The point is, on too many stories, the press has missed the story because we've taken into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American. Or we put too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough on you.
Yeah, I don't like the way he's saying this, to be honest. I mean, I like the admission that we've screwed this up and that we've been influenced by people over here and people over there. But it's not that you're just going to inject our perspective, the average American citizen, into these kinds of stories. That's not what you're going to do. You're just going to tell the truth. You're going to do that part where when the Hunter Biden laptop story comes out, you're going to report on it and actually try to research and see if it's real. When they say there's a bunch of fraud going on in Minnesota and in Minneapolis, you're going to go check and not wait for a YouTuber to do it. That's the stuff you need to do. That's beyond just changing the tone and the perspective of how you report something. You're actually going to do the freaking job is actually my assumption here, or my request. Who knows if it'll actually wind up being true. All right, we'll take a break. A lot to do. It's a day after a holiday. It's the last show of the week, and I feel like a whole lot of people, if you have to show up at work today, you don't want to work that hard. So there's a chance that we're going to do a lot more fun stuff today than we normally do, because darn it, maybe we don't want to work that hard either, but we'll see. Craig Collins filling in, Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Alex Brown. Mishawaka is eyeing a share of statewide arts funding. More at 556 on Inside Indiana Business. Nominations are now open for IBJ's annual 40 Under 40. Submit your nomination by January 26 at ibj.com/nominations.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in tax debt? Do not ignore this message. The IRS has more power than any collection agency in America. Often without warning, they can garnish your wages, levy your bank account, place a lien on your home, seize assets like your business, and revoke your passport. Every year, thousands lose their paychecks overnight or have their assets seized because they waited too long. You don't have to face the IRS alone. Call Federated Tax today. We'll connect you with an experienced tax professional who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. You may qualify for IRS hardship programs like the Fresh Start Initiative or many other programs that can stop garnishments, stop bank account seizures, reduce or eliminate penalties, and lower your settlement amount. You deserve to maintain your life. Don't let the IRS take it over. Make the call today to Federated Tax, 370-1384. The call and consultation are absolutely free. 800-370-1384. 800-370-1384.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique, custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Planning for retirement? It's a little like marriage. We have no idea what we're getting into. Tune in to Fire Your Financial Advisor, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Pretty good, Craig. Not a lot of people out here at the moment. I check inbound 69, and it's wide open right now from State Road 37 to 465 on the northeast side. That's about a 4-minute trip right now. And again, low volume, so not a lot of delay here at the moment. Really like what we see. Just watch those possible potential ice patches on the exit ramps and entrance ramps, and just take it easy today. Have a safe trip in. Traffic sponsor by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Cold, partly sunny, a high of 32 for today, 20 right now in downtown Indianapolis. With wind chill, it feels like 13. The same coming up for the next few days. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can slow it down and get it going slower. Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You have producer Kylan on special assignment one more time with me, and then Matt Bear, who's here all the time, of course. I don't know if Matt got any vacation at all. Matt, did you take any vacation of any kind?
Yeah, man, I went to beautiful Massachusetts Avenue in downtown Indianapolis, apartment 420.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Oh, man, the Epsom salts baths there are just incredible. You know, just work your skin and the muscles and the
inside that apartment complex.
Yeah,
okay.
It's always clean and
it's amazing.
Kind of the fortress of solitude, but I had a great vacation. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm impressed by your work ethic is really all I was trying to say there.
You should see these other guys. They're animals. Yeah. I mean, this station's always going. It's why it's a fun place to work. You're here and Kylan's here and Carl needs a much needed day off, so he's taking a day. And you know, Ryan and Jared are back here. I mean, they're machines here. I mean, I don't do anything compared to the rest of these guys.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but I will say that the newsroom also did seem to work through every single one of these days. I don't think the newsroom got any time off either. So impressive, very impressive there, all around, handshakes and whatnot. Yeah, there you go.
We go to work.
Our New Year's resolution is we're all taking vacation next year, though. That's the thing. None of us will show up for this. We're all going to be gone for 2 weeks, right? Or no?
Yeah, we're taking a family vacation, all of us.
There you go.
You're going to fly in from Dallas to Indy, and then we're all going to fly to O'Hare and go to the Grecian Islands. I have decided.
There you go. Oh, I thought we were just going to go to the Epsom salts apartment. I thought that's all we were going to do.
I hear they can fit 3. It's a small place, but the proprietor there says no more than 3, and he might ask for a rent check too. I mean, he's kind of a bastard like that, you know.
I get you. That makes. This is a fantastic unplanned segment to start. I was going to.
Good Lord.
I was going to talk about New Year's resolutions. Many experts say that they're completely worthless. I don't know if any of us have done any this year or said any. My wife made me say several, which is not the same thing, by the way. Like you do the New Year's resolution yourself. The wife does one, but I don't think it works as well when she's like, you should say this as the thing you should give up next year. And I'm like, okay, I'll say it right now, honey. And then we'll see what happens in the new year. But did you guys do any or no?
Now, yeah, this is kind of interesting to me. Does she write down the New Year's resolutions? Is this a common practice of marriage that, you kind of exchange them at the beginning of the year and you say, you must do this. This is you.
Now, she sort of was just nudging me at the party we were at and was like, you should do this as the thing next. And one of them was to give up soda, which I think she told me several times throughout the evening.
Really? That's the one. You're having a good marriage if that's the thing she wants you to get rid of.
I know. I probably should. Like, that's the other thing, too, is like I couldn't argue with her. She's right. I probably should stop drinking soda. And then it's delicious. And I had one yesterday. So we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, yesterday was the first, too. So
it doesn't count, though, right? Like, that's the holiday rule.
No, absolutely
Today,
not. No.
Okay, yeah. Today is the real one. Kylan, did you have any New Year's resolutions or no?
I don't do any actual resolutions, but I take time to reflect and try to set some general goals, but I don't do any actual resolution.
That sounded really nice. Yeah, no, that sounded really nice and intelligent and not at all what I did or at all what Matt sounds like he did either. So that sounds lovely. I didn't reflect on any of that stuff. What are we hoping for in 2026? Does anyone want to say any of that?
Oh, boy. It's crazy. I really haven't thought about it. I'm such a day at a time type of person. I do have short-term goals, but it's just like, it's New Year's, man. And I hate to say this, just a point of my life. Holidays are just kind of like days right now. And, I feel the spirit of the Christmas, and I like New Year's because people, get a kind of a feeling of redemption and starting over again, and I think that's really cool. But to me, I mean, it's just like let's go day at a time, keep the grind going, and try to be positive. My thing for next year is to give more, as in myself.
Sure,
that's been a thing. Good. I get really, I internalize a lot, and I think that comes off as aloof sometimes. So I want to do better about that. That's what I'm doing. That's the whole thing. Yeah, it's crazy. I know. Really good morning show conversation for me. Yeah.
No, it is actually. I think this is great morning show conversation. At least I think so, because you guys have both done wonderful things, and I can't match them at all. So the humor here is that I'm not doing any of that stuff. I will say one thing about what you your comments a second ago, though. You said that holidays are really just days now. Man, oh man, did that feel true? And I wonder for how many people out there that might be true. Maybe as you get older, I don't know what it is. I know 40 isn't old to a lot of our audience. I know to me it's ancient, as I talk about it a lot, and I just turned 40. But there's a difference the older you get with the holiday, especially if you're not around like a lot of little kids. Like if you don't have a lot of nieces and nephews or whoever on Christmas Day, which for the first year in a long time for my family, I saw different family members, and there just weren't a lot of kids. And so like Christmas was definitely different. The feel of it was different. It didn't feel as exciting as it usually feels. Because as a little kid or around, that type of energy, I think that happens more. And so then the same thing happened on New Year's Eve the other day. We went to a few places, we had fun, but it was a much more adult, version of doing this than the familial version. Like we weren't around any family, we were at bars and stuff. This was fun, but it kind of just felt like an extra crazy night out as opposed to, a holiday. So that landed for me, man. I wonder if it landed for a lot of listeners out there, that holidays feel more like just days.
Well, for a lot of people listening, I imagine their kids are off to college now, and there's a little emptiness going on. And with that, it's kind of like, okay, what do I do for the holidays? Well, you still get out, you put out the decorations, you make the most of the season. But like with my folks, and I'm blessed to still have my folks alive, and they are together. And so much of Christmas was for the kids, just hanging out with the kids, taking a couple of weeks off together, and that kind of thing. And I just feel like, the older you get, you just get tired, man. And I know it's so cynical, but it's Kylan, without giving anything away, you're in your mid-20s. I mean, have you felt that kind of, tearing away from
She's going to tell us both we're so old.
That's fair. That's fair.
Working the holidays, I think it does dim it down a little bit, making it feel not as magical. But I do still have my nieces and my baby sister around, and they keep it light and holiday feeling. But I would say with this study sample that we have, the 3 of us, that leaves 2 of 3 people feeling that the holidays are just another day.
Ish. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't go quite that far. It feels other day-esque, more so than, just completely the same as every other day. But it is interesting, Kylan, that you said what you did because you work the holidays too in a holiday capacity. Do you think that actually, does that enhance your reflection on the holiday or no? That you do the other thing at the zoo?
Yeah, working at the Indianapolis Zoo, being able to see all the Christmas lights, I think it almost desensitizes me to Christmas lights where it's not as magical. So then going home and being with everybody and seeing their joy opening up presents or making gingerbread houses, that brings it back for me. But I think then just driving down the street, I don't get as much appreciation for the Christmas lights that I see day to day.
All right. So in the new year, our resolution is we're all going to have a super magical Christmas in 2026. I don't know how that's going to happen, but all three of us, we're going to do it somehow. It's going to be fun. All right. This is
Fantastic,
a good start to the show.
Yeah. I'm going to I'll dress up as Santa Claus. That'll be my thing.
Let's do it. Let's that was amazing. Let's do it. I'll dress up as Buddy the Elf, and we'll really crush it for this year. All right. Quick break. A lot coming up. I promise it's going to be an interesting show today, if you haven't noticed already, but I think this was good stuff. Matt, what do you got for Trevor?
All right, guys, looking at southbound Capitol Avenue. Capitol Avenue, of course, is southbound one-way downtown, and it is still shut down from 16th Street to 14th Street. Hopefully, that'll be done by the 7th. That was the original plan. And again, that's because of hospital construction. Looking at the interstates, they look fine. Not a lot of people out here at the moment, so you have a lot of room. Just still, please be careful. And remember that ice creeps up on you. Traffic sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Matt Baer with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Hi, I'm Becca, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As an in-house designer, I can't wait for you to see our incredible selection of stylish and stackable rings. If you're shopping for your wedding bands, we have high-quality designs for every style and budget, from romantic to modern. If you're looking to add to a stack, your options are endless. Discover styles with clusters of gemstones, sleek all-metal designs, updated cigar bands, and signet rings perfect for an engraving. Because a friend knows you like options. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Indiana winters are when serious plumbing problems show up. Frozen pipes, no hot water, backed up drains. Indiana winters deserve a real local Indiana plumber. Hey, it's Denny Smith, and at my house I use LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. Real, local people answering your call who live, work, and play here. And they're specialists. All they do is water. Call the company I trust, LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, 317-927-7186, ldsmithplumbing.com.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Take a break from all the bowl games and cheer on your Pacers Friday night.
Murphy on the drive, and he throws down a thunderous right hand. And here comes another dunk as Oklahoma City turns it over, and Murphy sends it up the floor to Quentin Jackson.
The Pacers host Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs Friday at 7. It's the Spurs' only visit to the Fieldhouse this year. Get your tickets at Pacers.com/tickets. Pacers Spurs, Friday at 7.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best. But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911 Capability Now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
I slid off the road
and the airbag went off. The snow's getting heavier. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A socialist is now running New York City. Your radar is clear here in downtown Indianapolis, but it is cold, 21 degrees, only going up to 31 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. Newly elected New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani holding his inauguration ceremony on the steps of City Hall Thursday.
That I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of the Mayor of the City of New York.
Of the office of the Mayor of the City of New York.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And Mamdani making history by becoming the first Muslim mayor in New York City's history and the first mayor of South Asian descent. Over 20 million people in the United States are now facing higher health insurance costs after Congress allowed federal tax subsidies to expire at year's end. The average cost of premiums through the Affordable Care Act is now expected to rise 26% across the U.S. A video from independent journalist Nick Shirley getting nationwide attention for raising questions about possible fraud at some daycare centers run by members of Minnesota's Somali community.
Minneapolis police investigating an alleged break-in at Nokomis Daycare Center in Minneapolis, where the owner says earlier this week someone cut through a cinder block wall, crawled through a small opening to get inside, and then broke into their office and stole documents with information about the children they're taking care of. While this particular daycare was not featured in Nick Shirley's viral video, it is one of the dozens flagged to state investigators earlier this year for continually receiving more than $1 million in federal funding despite multiple repeated violations on record.
Fox's Garrett Tenney in Chicago, and gas prices starting the new year under $3 a gallon, says AAA. About $2.83 is the nationwide average. Indiana is a tick below at $2.82. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown. Mishawaka Parks and Recreation is preparing to align its programming, facilities, and cultural assets with the South Bend Elkhart Regional Arts and Culture Plan as the city positions itself to pursue competitive funding through a statewide arts initiative backed by the Lilly Endowment. Superintendent Phil Blasco says the effort centers on using parks and public spaces as platforms for art, creative placemaking, and community engagement.
We're seeing a lot of different age groups interact with the art that we currently have, and we're always trying to figure out new ways to add more art as we go.
Among the ideas under consideration are expanded public art installations along the city's Riverwalk. The parent company of industrial services providers Material Management Technologies and American Processing Services is expanding operations in Posey County. American Industrial Group said this month the $1.25 million expansion will create 11 new full-time skilled manufacturing jobs. The company currently has about 30 full-time Indiana employees. The latest report from the Indiana Association of Realtors shows that home sales across the state saw a slowdown in November. Pending home sales last month totaled 5,840, which is 1% higher than the same month in 2024. However, closed sales saw a 5% year-over-year decrease. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Governor Mike Braun is reinstating a statewide body to oversee Indiana's workforce development initiatives and realign with federal law. On Tuesday, Braun signed an executive order to reconstitute the Indiana Workforce Development Board, which was dissolved earlier this year. In a press release, the governor's office said the new board will act as a central coordinating body to align employers, education and training providers, and state agencies around measurable workforce outcomes. I'm Alex Brown for 93 WIBC.
All right, south side crash on the exit ramp from westbound 465 two-man road. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Looks like we do have a police response, and it's at the very end of the ramp, kind of in the middle of it right now. You can still make your exit. Again, it's westbound 465 two-man road. Everything else looking pretty good right now as you make your way to the airport from downtown, westbound 70 from Meridian out to the airport collector, about 8 minutes. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Right now it is 20 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. 32 is the high. It feels like 13. So it's cold out, and it's going to be cold for, well, a while now. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. With sports, it's Ryan Hedrick.
Craig, good morning. Yesterday at the Rose Bowl.
Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff. Looks to throw it. Does throw it. The end zone. Touchdown! Omar Cooper Jr. Touchdown, Indiana!
Don Fisher on the IU Radio Network from Learfield is Lawrence North alum, hauling it in to make it 17-0. From there, it was all downhill, at least for Alabama, as the Hoosiers, ranked number 1 in the country, won the Rose Bowl, cruised past Bama 38-3.
This team is special, man. We've talked about it since day one. When you care about each other so much, it's not only teammates, but as a family, it takes you far places. And we're seeing that come to fruition now. And I'm just so happy for our guys and our coaches and our staff.
All right, the college football playoff continues as IU heads to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl Friday to play Oregon, a team they beat earlier this year 30-23. IU is 2 wins away from a national title. The Indianapolis Colts wrap up their season Sunday against the Houston Texans, and the Indiana Pacers back at work tonight against the San Antonio Spurs, looking to break a 10-game losing streak. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff out there to talk about. I do want to play audio from New Year's Eve. It's the President of the United States. He's standing with Melania. Reporters are screaming stuff at him, as they often do. And he said something very simplistically nice. This is the kind of stuff that media never plays from President Trump because they don't want him to ever look like a human being. The only thing they ever want you to think of Trump as is a horrible, terrible, awful person. And honestly, part of what I think pushes us so far into our corners is the way that mainstream media tries to attack anyone that is the face of the conservative party or the face of the Republican Party, but uniquely even more President Trump and the man the entire time since 2016 that he's been relevant to those media outlets. They attack him crazy in crazy ways and to a crazy extent. But here, Mr. President, what would you like to see in the new year? He says peace on earth, which is a good answer. I feel like that's a good answer. On Family Feud, everybody would be clapping, and you'd be hoping for a number 1 there. Here we go. If it actually plays, which I think it's... All right, there it is. All right, that audio is terrible. We're going to admit that. Everybody knows it. Kylan was probably trying to fix it as I was playing it, but there's nothing we can do. I was very low and very jumbled. But yes, Mr. President, do you have a New Year's resolution? Was the question. And the answer is peace on earth. Again, good answer. That feels exactly appropriate. Not going to be talked about a whole lot of places. All right, I know this audio will work better. This is Secretary Scott Turner firing back on anyone that's calling the discussions about fraud in Minneapolis and Minnesota racism. And this goes probably well beyond just the discussions about this one story in this one place, even though it happens to be a whole bunch of Somalian people who are all tied to it, because telling you the truth or, trying to change something that's bad and make sure that the bad guys don't keep getting away with fraud, it can't be about race. You have to just be about facts, and all of the facts are on the side of the people that right now are saying stuff is broken in Minnesota. There is one location, I think, that seems like a beat-up old building that they've just discovered has 60 healthcare businesses registered by Somalian individuals in the same beat-up building. 60. That sounds like that's not going to wind up passing a significant audit, but we'll see. But here again on Fox News is some of the back and forth of this is all just racism, it's all just terrible, and it's also completely and utterly grounded in facts that this stuff is happening, and that seems to and should matter more to at least some of the people out there in the world who are being called racist because they're saying it out loud.
Well, Julie, it has nothing to do with it's smoke and mirrors. This is all a distraction from what the real problem is here. This has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do with ethnicity. We have to, under President Trump's leadership, American people are first. Our country is first. Has nothing to do with the Somalis, but it has everything to do with criminal activity.
Yes.
Our job, when we get appointed, elected, our job is to uphold the law, and so that's what you see going on right now. And there's a lot of people in our country, the clip that you showed, some of the media, far left activists that actually do not want the laws of America to be upheld. But this is a day with President Trump and other leaders in our administration where we're going to uphold the law, enforce the law, and prioritize the American people and American people only.
Yeah, that sounds great. Every part of that sounds awesome. It doesn't sound like there's anything wrong there. And the American people can be a whole, wide swath of humans that look all different because that's what America is actually, it consists of a whole lot of people who look different, but actually are also Americans. American citizenship, all that stuff, and then don't defraud the government. I know that there are Somalians who are here legally. It's a messy version of legal, but it's still legal, and they don't seem to care very much about our country. That's also bad. So we also need to talk about that when we see it in action and we see millions and millions of dollars of fraud. And like I said, in one case, 60 healthcare treatment center things, 60 different businesses, all registered in the same beat-up building that looks like no one's been in it for years. That seems like that's bad. All right, quick break. We promise not to talk about Minneapolis and Minnesota and fraud all day because there's been a lot of that, and we promise there's going to be other stuff to talk about. Here filling in, Craig Collins, Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
When you have a fire emergency, you need a restoration company you can trust to put everything back together. Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I know, I've relied on Michaelis after a fire at my home. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Richard, what makes Michaelis the right call if you have a fire?
Michaelis is local and family owned. We are your neighbors, 39 years of experience, and we'll respond 24/7, 365. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified. We will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I've lived it. Michaelis was on the scene at my home before the firefighters had even rolled up their hoses. They asked me about calling a restoration company. I told them I had Michaelis. They told me Michaelis was the real deal. You help with insurance, too?
Yes, we'll work through the insurance process to give you peace of mind.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878. 800-948-7878.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Crash on the south side, Craig. It's on the exit from westbound 465. Two-man road. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked. And outside of maybe having some slick ramps today, the interstates are looking pretty good. Please be aware we could have some ice on those exit and entrance ramps. It's been awfully cold lately, so be cautious about that. Other side, just enjoy the room and the plenty of space you're getting on the interstates here this morning. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Partly sunny, a high of 32 today, 20 right now in downtown Indianapolis, although it feels like 13 with wind chill, so it's cold outside. That is unsurprising in January in Indiana. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Step into the spotlight with Dancing with the Stars. Catch the live show at Old National Center Wednesday, February 25th. Reserve your seats and tickets today at WIBC.com.
Everybody was dancing in the moonlight.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Matt Bear hanging out as he does every morning on this show. Producer Kylan is here one more time on special assignment along with me. After this, Tony will be back on Monday, and everything will return to normal for this morning show that I've been doing most of the time the last 2 weeks. It's been a bunch of fun. There is a viral video of a Disney worker hurling himself in front of what seems to be like mostly inflatable fake boulder at the Indiana Jones thing at Disney World. Now, it actually weighs 400 pounds, so the person who jumped in front of this before it went into the audience did get hurt. They got bruises and other kinds of injuries, nothing serious, apparently. But the video is kind of amazing. And I know this is radio, so I can't show it to you, but I can describe it to you. This giant inflatable boulder thing is supposed to chase Indiana Jones, and it bounces off of its track and does not chase the actor playing Indy. And so eventually it starts going right toward the audience, and it's picking up momentum. So a dude who works at Disney World or Disneyland decided to hurl himself in the way. That's not the kind of thing most people do at whatever amount of money he's making at this job. I feel like it's not going to be enough. Someone needs to give him a raise. What do we think of dude who dove in front of 400-pound boulder?
Oh, he just made a mint. Looking at this video here, and this inflatable ball, it looks like a stability ball that you'd use at the gym.
Sure.
Except it's like gigantic.
Giant?
It's like, it looks to be like 1 story tall here, and it's coming towards the audience. It was like a misfire, right? With the ball.
It bounced off the wall, and it's coming toward the audience because it gets off of its track in the back of the stage. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, imagine you're the person in the front row, and it's just coming at you. So this guy jumps in front of it and just gets clobbered. So he stopped multiple lawsuits, I feel like, from happening with Disney and this ride because this boulder was going into the audience. And granted, again, it's not like a boulder, like, 400 pounds, that kind of thing. So he deserves something because he just saved Disney Corps maybe millions of dollars from a lawsuit here.
I would assume at the very least, he did that. And actually, it looked a whole lot like IU tackling a bunch of Alabama players. Is what it looked like. It was just absolutely destroyed. That was fun, right? Did you watch the game, Matt?
I'm very happy for the IU fans.
Yeah. It seemed like a lot of fun. It seemed like
it was. I mean, they just eviscerated Alabama. There's no two ways about it. They just ran them off the field. It is a very surreal time to be an Indiana sports fan. And I'm just talking about the whole totality with the Colts and the Pacers and what happened to Tyrese Halliburton and IU. And now Purdue might have a shot at I mean, there's a lot going on here, good and bad.
There is. There's a lot of really good things.
Indiana sports, there's nothing in the middle. It's either really good or really bad. Yeah.
There's a lot of really great things happening collegiately in Indiana. Whether or not they're happening professionally is not the same. But collegiately, things are crushing it in Indiana. But yeah, no, back to the video of the guy who dives in front of the 400-pound boulder. I'm just amazed that someone who makes whatever amount of money this dude makes at Disney did this. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. I feel like in that moment, you want to protect people, and who cares? But the dude has to be making, I don't know, like $10 an hour or something like that. And he just got catapulted across the stage to protect other people. That's awesome. This dude deserves a bunch of good things.
He'll probably get like a dozen car washes in his stocking next year or something like that. Be like, thanks, man. Here you go. Go to crew.
Yeah. They're going to throw him a pizza party at some point. They'll be like, yeah, this is great. That's all I needed.
He's all bruised up. His face is just too wild. He can't even eat the pizza because the right side of his face is just pulp. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. I love that, by the way. I'll be honest about that. Working in radio, there have been a bunch of times where a boss has come to me, although this happened maybe more as a producer than as a guy who's on the other side of the glass. But they'd say, hey, we need somebody to stay late. We're going to get you pizza. And that acted as though like that was compensation. And I would do it like most of us do it. We like the thing we have. We like the job we have. But I just thought that was always funny, is that they never dangled the carrot of more cash. But they're like, hey, we called Domino's. Don't worry. Things are much better now. You're going to be in really good hands with the sweet Domino's people who are here. I don't know if the Domino's guy wants to come in and help you work, but hey, at least he'll give you some pizza.
I mean, on one hand, it's nice that they're doing anything at all, and I get that.
Right.
But on the other hand, that's like a reward for a kid. It kind of
Right.
feels like that's how you pay a child. Or that's you order pizza when you get together and study for finals. You know, it's not like, hey guys, good month here. You know, don't.
Yeah, I honestly, I wonder if it is the age gap at the time between the people who are in charge and the people that they're asking to stay late that makes the pizza seem like the appropriate decision. Because you're right. It does feel like the kind of thing you'd give a kid. Be like, hey, man, we're buying you pizza so that you can stay late and the whole rest of us are going to go home.
Limit 2
no
slices.
one else is staying.
You only get 2 slices. Yeah.
Yeah, come on now. You know, and don't be greedy. It's crazy. Leave some for me in the fridge for when I get in tomorrow.
Yeah. We're watching the 2 liters. Those better not go down more than a quarter.
The pizza party does not stand in for a pay raise or overtime or anything. No. But if I'm not going to get anything anyways, then a pizza goes a long way.
Aw, look at that. Kylan, who's in her 20s.
Yeah,
I love my food, especially if it's some good food.
Totally fine. Yeah, now I'm totally disconnected from this topic. Kylan, we need you to stay late tonight, and they're going to get you a pizza, just so you know this.
As long as it's stuffed crust.
Oh, no.
That's a bargaining chip. That is a bargaining chip right there.
That was a horrible thing she said at the end, though. There,
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's a terrible decision, Kylan. I'm originally born on the East Coast. A stuffed crust pizza is an abomination.
Ooh, yeah.
Is it all just over?
You're talking about that. You're talking about the thin crust, New York style.
I am. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The New York style is done well if it's done well at a place that is iconic for it. But if it's just Domino's, if it's just going to be Domino's, I might as well go a little bit more.
And you want to put cheese inside the crust.
Heck yeah.
It makes no sense. You're having a breadstick at the end of your pizza. This actually makes me madder than it should. I would complain about this for several more minutes, but most of the audience is probably listening like, why is Craig so mad? Why is this? Kylan just wanted a pizza with stuffed crust in it. It's a terrible thing. All right, anyway, we're moving on. I can't. Does anyone else want to defend it more?
No, I'm just hungry as hell now. I mean, I just want a pizza.
All right. One last thing I saw that most Americans will try to fix their budget in 2026. That's one thing we're all focused on. We all think that we've wasted money in 2025, or maybe money has been, spent because things are ridiculously expensive. But whatever it is, most people want to get that under control in 2026. I love most of the advice that they say for making finances better, because by and large, I could sum it up as one thing. Don't buy stuff you don't need is basically what it says, and save as much of the money on not buying the stuff you don't need as possible. Don't use it for other things. So just save your money and buy as little as possible is the advice here. Easier to say, harder to do. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, when we're talking about, I guess, fixing your budget, my first thought was, and I thought my first thought was, with what? what am I fixing my budget with? Because everybody I know doesn't have money right now, as far as, trip money or disposable income or anything.
Sure.
And we're already down to the bare bones. And that's not a complaint, man. That's just life. That's just how it works. So I guess the consideration would be like you're saying, what are we spending where we don't need to spend? And a lot of this, so much as where it gets me is the impulse buying, the stuff at the store at the front of the aisle where they get you as you're walking through, or Amazon or something like that. So cutting a lot of that out, I think, would help. But there aren't a lot of options right now. There's just not a lot to it for a lot of people. You just do the best you can, and hopefully you make it to the next paycheck. It's
Amen.
Cool. It's life.
Amen.
It's life.
Thank you for that. Very motivational, Matt. By the way, I do see, I was curious. I opened it up. I do see the chat is all siding with Kylan on the stuffed crust thing.
Yes.
So that's good to know, too. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, cool. That's fine. All right. We'll take a break. Matt's got traffic. More coming up in a bit.
Crash clear south side, westbound 465 going to Man Road. No trouble there at all. And checking out what's coming in from Carmel. Good morning, Carmel. Looking at southbound 31 fantastic as you make your way from City Center Drive to 465 on the south side. No delay on those 465 ramps at the moment. Really no slowdown either. Just be careful of the ice. We could have a little bit out there this morning as you make your way into work if you're working today. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey guys, it's Rob for We Grow Hair Indy. Champions just don't show up. They pick the right team to get the best results. And when it comes to restoring your hair, We Grow Hair Indy is that team. 5 years ago, I made the choice to head over to We Grow Hair Indy. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm so glad I did. Guys at the top of their game, radio personalities, coaches, and well-known athletes have all trusted We Grow Hair Indy to restore their hair. Why? Because their results are permanent, natural, and speak for themselves. Here's what you do. You call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Schedule a totally free, no-hassle, no-obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, the fine folks at We Grow Hair Indy, will take a look at what's going on top of your head and make some suggestions on how you can get your hair and your confidence back. Then it's up to you. In the meantime, see some other folks who have made the choice to get their confidence back by heading over to WeGrowHairIndy.com. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Lose the weight or stop smoking with Hypnosis, guaranteed only $59.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Hypnosis Thursday, January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss hypnosis 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss hypnosis 11 a.m. Stop smoking hypnosis 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Gain insight on how to prepare for a secure retirement.
In our younger years, we want as much growth and accumulation as we can muster.
Take advantage of a free discovery call, 877-524-2677, 877-524-2677.
It's important for you to understand what that's going to look like later on.
And tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show with Will Gonzalez, Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, IU is now going to another bowl after dominating their competition at the Rose Bowl. Shots fired on the near east side of Indianapolis this morning, and why it's now harder to get out of jail in Marion County. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News from the Technology Recycler Studios on a Friday morning. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 7 o'clock.
President Trump warns Iran. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and a Truth Social post early this morning.
Threatening this: if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the U.S., the United States of America, will come to their rescue. We are locked and loaded and ready to go.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. Says the protests in Iran range for a sixth day, and there have been 7 deaths.
The people in Iran are starting to stand up and say, because of their economy, right? This is economically driven. And you had business owners, people in Iran that are saying enough.
Now, an Iranian official reacted to the president's threat, posting on X the demonstrations are stoked by the U.S. and Israel. An intervention would cause chaos in the region and destruction of American interests. They're mourning a New Year's Day disaster in Switzerland.
Hundreds gathered for a vigil as officials report at least 40 people were killed and more than 100 injured.
Fox's Rebecca Castor says they're still trying to identify the victims of the fire that broke out in a Swiss bar an hour and a half into the new year.
13 helicopters and 42 ambulances rushed to the scene, while partygoers ran for their lives, having to run up a narrow staircase out of the basement or break windows to escape.
Now a very different New Year's Day death.
For the first time since 1999, a mountain lion is believed responsible for killing a human in Colorado. Spokesperson for Colorado Parks and Wildlife said it happened Thursday as the woman was hiking alone on the Crozier Mountain Trail in Larimer County.
That's Fox's Sue Guzman. Other hikers found the woman, chased the lion away. They tried to save her, but she had no pulse. Day 2 on the job for New York City's new mayor, Zoran Mamdani, who signed 5 executive orders after being sworn in.
I was elected as a Democratic Socialist, and I will govern as a Democratic Socialist.
Mamdani also told the crowd at his inauguration,
I will not abandon my principles for fear of being deemed radical.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Attention now shifts to next week's rematch. Your radar is clear in the capital city, 21 degrees, a high today, 31. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02.
Fantastic for the Hoosiers. I don't know if it's his first or second time, but what great history. Rose Bowl, one of the most historic marks in all of college football and all of sports.
IU quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza speaking to Wish TV right after his team's Rose Bowl win over Alabama, 38-3.
And to do it with our brothers, to have the Hoggies up front, the offensive linemen do so well today, the defense dominate. It's just playing such great complementary football with each other.
So after the Rose Bowl win, IU heads to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl to play Oregon next week, a team they beat 30-23 earlier this season. The Peach Bowl will be played next Friday, January 9th. The Hoosiers are now 2 wins away from a national title, a huge turnaround for a program that was the losingest in college football before head coach Curt Cignetti arrived. Indianapolis got its first homicide of the year early this morning as the cops responding to the Near East Side right before 1 o'clock along North Tuxedo Street. That's right by East 10th and North Sherman. They found a car crashed into a tree. Inside that car, a man suffering from gunshot wounds was taken from there to the hospital, and that's where he died. Marion County starting 2026 with a big shift in how the bail system works. The courts have raised bond amounts across nearly every felony category, making it harder and more expensive for people to get out of jail. The county has spent years debating whether its old system was too lenient. The biggest change is that serious charges now require significantly more money up front, and even mid-level felonies come with higher costs. Judges still have to decide, but the baseline expectations for bond are now much higher. Blackford County Sheriff's deputy is waking up in jail this morning. His name is Tyler Wood, and he's been arrested on multiple preliminary domestic violence charges. Police responding to his Muncie home where they found a woman beat up, bruised from head to toe. Court documents say the woman was assaulted and taken to the hospital. An Indianapolis broker facing fraud charges from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Jarrett Lewis tells us why.
According to the SEC, Gerardo Lenarduzzi, former managing partner of Drive Planning LLC, heading up its Indiana branch office, was a key player in a massive fraud scheme that the commission claims stole $336 million from investors. A complaint has been filed in a Georgia federal court where the investment firm was based. The group is accused of making promises to investors, including a guaranteed 10% rate of return on their investments made into the Real Estate Acceleration Loans program. The scheme went on for nearly 4 years and had over 2,000 people fall victim to it, including some Hoosiers. Jarrett Lewis, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
If you need to gas up, you're going to pay about $2.83 a gallon across the city this morning, says AAA. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Looking at the south side, the crash did clear from westbound 465 Two-Man Road. We are good to go there. Also checking out what's coming up from Johnson County this morning. Franklin, good morning. Northbound 65, fantastic from State Road 44 King up to 465 on the south side. And I have that coming in at 10 minutes right now with no delay. Also looking at southbound 65 out of Boone County, wide open right now from State Road 47 to 865 in the dogleg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does the weather look?
Hey, good morning. We're going to see quiet conditions today, a mix of sun and clouds. We'll get up to 33 degrees this afternoon. Look for clear conditions overnight tonight with lows falling to 23. And this weekend, not bad. Dry. We'll look for a mix of sun and clouds both on Saturday and Sunday. 34 Saturday, 35 on Sunday, and warming conditions heading into next week. 40s and 50s will be possible as we begin the first full week of the new year.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now, it is 7:06 Friday morning.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff out there to talk about. Zoran Mamdani was officially sworn in as the mayor of New York. I think that a lot of places that are not New York don't care, for the most part, by and large. The only thing we do care about is seeing any of the most radical things that Mamdani has promised in New York and how they'll go. Obviously, I think the expectation is any of that stuff that goes too crazy and too far is going to fail and fail spectacularly. And we'll be watching, mostly to see if other Democrats in other places think this is a template to run their campaigns on. But it is interesting, so I will at least put it out there. Other big things in the news, the President of the United States went on Truth Social to tell Iran that it better not kill violent protesters, because if it does, we're, quote, locked and loaded and ready to go as far as the United States defending those people in that place. I think this is really interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who say they don't want the United States involved in anything. This is honestly a conversation that happens a lot with Venezuela right now. There's a significant amount of Americans, certainly any on the left, that hate Trump and everything he does. So if you tell them that Trump is the one who is acting in certain ways with Venezuela, then the left is going to say we hate this idea. But then there's a lot of people on the right, a lot of conservatives who voted for Trump that would much rather the United States just stick to us here and not pay as much attention elsewhere. But I think there are a lot of people who are misunderstanding the point as far as Venezuela goes. And I think there was a breakthrough, as you've probably heard in the news, that they are willing to sit down and talk. Some of the things we've been doing have had enough of an impact that Venezuela is listening to, is offering an ability to have some kind of conversation. Does that actually mean that the people in charge at the very top are going to relieve themselves of duty? Probably not. And I think that's what we most want. But nonetheless, I do think it's interesting that at least that's being put out in the world, that Venezuela wants to sit down, because of course they do. The United States is successful in how it is motivating at least that country to care about our renewed interest in what they do beyond us and in how they allow for drug trafficking to move from their country to our country and other places, and also oil trade and how it affects China, Russia, and so on. All of that matters. And I thought this was also funny. This morning, like just a few minutes ago, President Trump also put up on Truth Social that he crushed another cognitive test. He said he aced it, 100% correct on all the questions. Only president to do that every single year, to take this kind of test. He's something that he says he strongly believes presidents, vice presidents, everybody should take a mandatory cognitive examination. I agree with him on the mandatory cognitive examination part. I think that everyone should prove they're capable of being in the positions they're in mentally. And if they're not capable, they need to get out. We need to immediately fire them and move somebody else into the position that actually can handle it, especially after the ridiculousness that was Biden and how long he was in office as the auto pen president. That's just wrong. We do need to stop that. We do need to fix that any way we can. So I like that. As far as him acing the test and stuff, not that I don't believe it. I have no context for that. I just enjoy the way that Trump talks about some of that stuff. I know some people hate that about him. I don't mind that at all. I'm sure that he passed the test. He continues to interact with the press to a degree that not many humans do, much less people in charge of countries. And if anything tells you that someone feels mentally fit for the role they're in, it's to keep sparring with media, especially news media, and how ridiculously one-sided they wind up being, even as they're saying they're trying to change. I played audio earlier in the show. I'll probably play it again later in the show. CBS News, at least their evening news, admitting that they're not doing well. They didn't say it the way I would have said it, but essentially, more or less, they said that they're going to try to get back to considering the perspective of the everyday American while telling us the news. I don't need them to do that. I need them to just tell us the truth. That's all I need. It doesn't have to be spun into the perspective of this person or that person or tailored at all. And you have to stop telling me that when you don't tell me the truth, it was for my own good. And when you tell me a version of the truth that makes no sense, that it wasn't to benefit whatever political party you actually are trying to help, which, of course, we all know is the left. But nonetheless, I just need them to tell the truth, the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help them God. That would be great. I would like to swear the news in 2026 to doing things the correct way. I doubt they'll do it, but darn it, it'd be fun. All right, quick break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
It's Terry Stacy, and thousands of people start the year with good intentions of losing weight and getting in shape by spring. For over 22 years, exercising has helped Hoosiers build muscle and lose weight and transform their health, which means creating lifelong habits rather than a resolution most of us don't keep. Exercising works, and the best part about it, it only takes 20 minutes once a week. Their unique training method was developed in an osteoporosis research study to help prevent bone mineral loss in older women. The women in the study got very strong in a short amount of time. When the method is applied to normal, healthy adults, both men and women get a lot stronger. Their Simple 9 nutritional program has helped their clients lose over 40,000 pounds since 2013. They've also seen their clients lower blood pressure, improve blood sugar, and get off prescription meds. Get started right now. Avon, Brownsburg, Fishers, Greenwood, and Zionsville. Change your life in 20 minutes once a week. Go to exerciseinc.com to request a free consultation.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down. Get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Pretty good, Craig. Not a lot of people out here so far this morning, and it is post-holidays. So right now, the interstates, you're getting a lot of room and moving up to speed. We'd like to see that. Please watch out for the Rams. They could have ice today. Inbound 69, just 4 minutes from Fisher. State Road 37, 2465 on the northeast side. No delays there. Traffic sponsored by 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. Indianapolis winters are serious business. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning is here for heating repairs, replacements, and tune-ups. Visit onehourairindy.com or call 855-1HOUR today. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Partly sunny, a high of 32 for today, 20, or actually 19 now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Matt and Kylan hanging out. Matt, as he does every morning on this show. Kylan, of course, on special assignment with us. I can do the popcorn moment. I heard that thing pop up for a second there, and I do think the most interesting popcorn moment came from CBS News. But let's go ahead and kick it. Let's do the popcorn thing. There we go. All right. I don't know about the chewing sound. I'm just going to be honest. I'm throwing it out there for anyone.
Me too. I mention it to Carl every time.
Do you? Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. Some of us not a huge fan of that sound and hearing it in my headphones when we do this. Anyway, let's play the actual moment. CBS News, at least their evening news version, admitted that they don't do stuff as well as they should in the world of reporting news, and they're going to try to be better in 2026. Whether you believe them or not is fine. I'm not sure that I do. But I do think it was interesting to at least semi-admit that you've been doing things wrong for a while now. Here's the way that sounded.
A lot has changed since the first person sat in this chair. But for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to. And it's not just us. It's all of legacy media. And I get it. I get it because I've been hearing about it from just about everybody for more than 20 years as I've traveled America on this assignment or that. My mom's neighbors in West Virginia, my own neighbors in New York City, thousands and thousands of conversations in between. Sometimes people want to talk to me about our coverage of NAFTA or the Iraq War. Other times it's all about Hillary Clinton's emails or Russiagate. Or more recently, COVID lockdowns, Hunter Biden's laptop, or the president's fitness for office. The point is, on too many stories, the press has missed the story.
Yep.
Because we've taken into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American. or we put too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough on you. And I know this because at certain points, I have been you. I have felt this way too.
I do love that part. Like, I've also thought that we've screwed up a lot. And what am I going to do? I'm just the guy working at the news place reporting. Oh, wait a minute. I could do a lot. There's a lot I could do. So, yes, whether it actually changes, we'll see. But I do like the admission part from a mainstream news outlet in CBS News. That was my definitive popcorn moment. All right, I'm going to shift gears to something else. And here's the thing. I'm going to preface it. I am a married man with no kids that's about to talk about women giving birth. That's the thing I'm going to talk about right now. The odds of this being a good decision are probably bad, but darn it, it's going to happen. So let's all settle in here. I saw the story about all three of the local Indianapolis hospitals that had babies in the new year. I think one of them had a baby, Franciscan Health Lafayette East, 5 minutes into the new year. At 12:05 a.m., a baby was born, and that's awesome. At one of the other hospitals, Franciscan Health Indianapolis, I think it was 1:16. And then they also listed in this story Community Health Network, which was 3:33 a.m. Here's the question. Here's the reason I'm bringing this up. If you're the guy that's married to the woman that's giving birth and it's midnight on you, you're looking at the clock and you're seeing like 11:58, 11:59, are you adding that in at all? Is there any version of, honey, just so you know, I know it doesn't matter. It's nature take its course. But 2 minutes, we're going to be in the news, baby. If we get to midnight, we're going to have that first baby. Is there any version of injecting that, maybe hold a little longer into the equation, or the opposite, once it gets past midnight, wanting to make the news? I mean, like, hey, just throwing it out there, definitely push as a thing. I'm assuming the answer is no, but I'm asking, generally, would anyone else think like I did on this topic?
Well, what's the reward? Like if you
being in the news,
first baby of the new year,
first baby, man,
you get 30% off the delivery. That's what I'm doing if I'm the hospital. I'm being like, first year, we'll pick it up. We will even pick you up in a limousine or something.
There we go.
The only deal is don't go in the, don't have the child until you get to the hospital. And then we'll cut your rate by 30%. I think that would lead to divorce eventually, right?
Whoa!
It could. I think it could.
Look at what you're saying, as the dude.
Yeah.
And guys, it's like I'm saying to her, hey, can you just hold up on the labor thing?
Yeah, just give it 2 more minutes.
Yeah, give it 2 more minutes. Give it a break. I'm in this with you. We're giving the baby. Everything's going to be fine. Just wait 2 minutes. That's going to be something that sticks in everybody's craw for the next 30 years.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. But I was just thinking, like, in the back of my mind, it's 11:58. We're getting close. Part of me would be like, push, but not that hard. Like, don't push that hard. Like, really, take a break, honey. You need a couple minutes.
Don't push that hard. Yeah. Stop pushing.
No,
you look tired.
Being in the news is great, but honestly, I think I care about the date more than anybody that I've talked to. Like, if I were being born, so I was born in 99. If it were in between 99 and 2000, please push a little harder so I can be a 99 baby. So,
really? Why? Tell me why you want that.
I love being able to say that I'm still part of the 1999.
Oh, wow.
I'm not 2000s. I'm not a 2000s baby.
No, they're terrible.
Not to
Those
age
terrible
me,
2000s
but come
baby.
on.
Yeah, no. That's awesome. I'm a 1985 baby, so I'm very much in the 1990s. Definitely nailed it there. You know what I just find funny about this, though, is that they are pictured shortly after giving birth. I'm guessing the missus didn't want that photo. Like, I'm assuming that also was a thing. Like, and you don't want that in the news. Like, you just went through what you went through. Now it's all over the place 5 minutes after the new year. I feel like part of it, my wife doesn't like it when I take a picture of her that's a surprise at a party. I feel like the other thing would go a step further and being like, yeah, I'd rather not. Just go ahead and take a picture of the baby. Leave me out till tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd be the worst husband. I mean, I'd want to Photoshop that picture and like have her holding a pot of gold, or a bag of McDonald's or something like that. I mean, it'd be. I understand posting those pictures though, because I think a lot of times, I would guess a lot of times it's just telling the family, hey, we made it. Everybody's healthy, that kind of thing. Yeah. But I'm so sensitive about what I look like in pictures. I hate to say that, but it's true. I have trouble having my picture taken, so I can only imagine, to a degree, being a guy, all things. I could only imagine the anxiety somebody might have getting a picture like that taken.
Right. Well, and the fact that it's going to be all over news. It's not just going to be all over your own social media pages. The news is going to run with it because you got the first baby of the new year. And 5 minutes after 12 o'clock does seem like somebody was at least trying for that. That does seem like somebody was shooting for it, which way to go. Bravo is my reaction there. But that's fantastic. And yes, one of 3 babies born within the first few hours of the new year. I wonder how the parents feel about the 1 o'clock baby.
The husband was like, I didn't even know you were pregnant. Surprise.
Oh, man. Do you know that there actually are stories where that has happened occasionally, where like someone claims they didn't know they were pregnant and then they have a baby, which I don't. Look, I know I'm a man. I know I don't get the things the way the ladies do there. But how do you have a 9-month, I didn't know I was pregnant thing happen? I'm just throwing it out there as a question. I'm not expecting anyone on the show to give me an answer to it. I don't get that. But you do see that occasionally actually in the news where someone claims they didn't know they were pregnant.
There's got to be a backstory there or some sort of detail that's being left out.
Be.
Somebody's not telling the whole truth, I think.
Right, yeah. Yeah, now I'm surprised when my back has problems that I didn't expect it to have as I get older now. I can't imagine 9 months of, man, I didn't know this was here. Look at this whole thing.
Right.
All right.
That
anyway,
stuff doesn't get any easier either.
Well, it's fantastic. We did a whole segment, you, me, and Kylan, on babies and pregnancy, which definitely probably ingratiated me with the female audience at I assume that's what happened. I assume they're all very happy with all of my takes, including the I would like her to push, hold if we're at 11:58. All right. We'll take... I'm screwed. If my wife hears this segment, I'm screwed. All right, we'll take a break. We'll do a lot more. Matt's got traffic for you.
All right, I'm looking at Boone County right now. Guys, this looks southbound 65 between State Road 267 and County Road 550 south, about halfway between those two roads, a crash. And I see 2 left lanes blocked and traffic squeaking by on the right side. This does stop traffic back to State Road 267. So we have about a 1.5 mile delay right now if you're coming down from Lebanon to Indianapolis this morning. Again, that crash after the State Road 267 interchange. Traffic sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Happy New Year. Hammer and Nigel Show back live Monday afternoon with the biggest stories in Indy and a whole lot of fun. We hope you join us.
If you've recently noticed cracks in concrete or brick, musty smells, or moisture coming from your crawl space, now is the time to address these warning signs before it's too late. These early signs often point to deeper issues that will only become more expensive the longer they remain untreated. Indiana Foundation Service is here to make the repair process simple, transparent, and manageable. No two homes are the same, and every single home needs a customized solution. That's why Indiana Foundation Service's certified experts take the time to evaluate your home fully and recommend the correct repair for your exact situation. The people repairing your home are not just employees, they're owners of Indiana Foundation Service. That ownership drives employees to deliver work done right every single time. Visit IndianaFoundation.com today to schedule your free inspection. Indiana Foundation Service, your trusted local experts in foundation repair.
Indiana Foundation Service, reliability from the ground up.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments
Indiana
Coalition.
winters are when serious plumbing problems show up. Frozen pipes, no hot water, backed up drains. Indiana winters deserve a real local Indiana plumber. Hey, it's Denny Smith, and at my house I use LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. Real, local people answering your call who live, work, and play here. And they're specialists. All they do is water. Call the company I trust, LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, 317-927-7186, ldsmithplumbing.com.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine.
by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed or your money back. Only $59.99. Destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, or weight gain, or your money back. Hypnosis January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss at 5:30 p.m., stop smoking at 8. And January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking at 2. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of. It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years.
There are students who need somebody.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
Communities in Schools is lowering America's dropout rate by helping more than 1.3 million kids every year get whatever they need to succeed in school.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
Communities in Schools vouched for me when everyone else had lost hope.
You can help change the picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesandschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
Step into the spotlight with Dancing with the Stars. Catch the live show at Old National Center Wednesday, February 25th. Reserve your seats and tickets today at WIBC.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What they'll be doing on Capitol Hill next week. Radar clear in downtown Indianapolis, 21 degrees right now, high of 31 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. Next week, Congress will hold the first of 2 hearings about the Minnesota fraud scandal.
Those hearings are in addition to all of the other investigations already taking place by the Trump administration looking into the alleged fraud happening in Minnesota that prosecutors say could top $9 billion. This week, the White House took steps to cut off some of the federal funding that allegedly has been feeding this fraud by freezing $185 million for childcare in Minnesota and creating new verification requirements for those businesses. In wake of Nick Shirley's viral video, Somali-run childcare centers in the Twin Cities say they have been receiving threatening calls and bomb threats, and several claim there have been attempted break-ins at their businesses.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney reporting in Chicago. New York City's first Muslim mayor is pushing for a more inclusive and affordable city. In his inaugural speech Thursday, Zoran Mamdani said the city belongs to everyone and promised to end the divide between the wealthy and those struggling in a city of nearly 9 million people. A Colorado woman is dead following a mountain lion attack in the Rocky Mountains. Police say the victim had been hiking alone near the community of Glen Haven, just northwest of Boulder.
One mountain lion was shot on scene by officers, later tracked and euthanized. A second lion was located in the area and also euthanized by officers.
That's Colorado Parks and Wildlife spokesperson Kara Van Hoos says hikers on a mountain found the woman. Are you on your way to work right now? And did you think of taking this day off and making it a 4-day weekend?
Many Americans don't like to use their vacation time. Some statistics show roughly half of Americans don't use all their PTO. A recent Flex Jobs survey found about a quarter of those who get days off didn't take any of them. Now there are some experts out there telling you to recharge and take the time you get, even if it's just the 2 weeks worth. They say rather than trying to take a lump sum in the form of like 1 full week week, consider using your days around federal holidays to create 4-day weekends here and there. Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Labor Day, and Memorial Day are all on Mondays. Ask for the previous Friday off. And this coming year, Christmas is on a Friday.
And that's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. And January is the time many people skip alcohol. It's often known as Dry January. It's a social media trend, but health experts say it can have many benefits, including lowering blood pressure, cholesterol, maybe even weight loss, and a stronger immune system. They say anyone who drinks heavily should check with their doctor before attempting Dry January. And sports on WIBC at 7:34.
What a program. What a turnaround for Indiana football. Final score, Indiana 38. Alabama 3.
The voice of IU athletics and has been for a long time, Don Fisher behind the microphone on the IU radio network from Learfield as IU crushed Alabama 38-3 for its first ever Rose Bowl win. Now the Hoosiers are just 2 wins away from a national title.
Kind of surreal. There's no doubt about it. I understand why there's been a lot of skeptics, but I only have one thing to say.
After the game, IU coach Curt Cignetti joining ESPN's Reese Davis, quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza, nearly perfect, 14 of 16 for 192 yards and 3 touchdowns.
The Rose Bowl itself, the venue, the grass, I know it was a little rainy today, but still, it's a perfect college football venue and such an honor to play with my teammates and honor to the 2 times I played here to come out victorious. I think it's a great honor and give all the glory to God.
IU advances to the semifinals of the college football playoff to play Oregon in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl a week from today. The Indianapolis Colts wrap up their season Sunday against the Houston Texans. Tonight, the Indiana Pacers back at home against the San Antonio Spurs, losers of 10 straight. And in college basketball, Notre Dame, Butler, and Purdue back to work tomorrow. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching, Matt Bear?
It is black ice, Ryan, and we've had that reported in a couple of spots, like I-65 at the Georgetown Road Bridge at 65 between 38th Street and Lafayette Road exits. And also black ice reported downtown on 6570 at Washington Street. So if it could be in those 2 spots, it could be anywhere, and please take it easy if you are working today and making your way to work. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like it's going to be cold for the next few days here in Indianapolis. It is right now 20 degrees. That temperature is brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Whenever I'm out wandering,
it is time to do our marketplace segment, which is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, indianaunclaimed.gov. A great place to go, put in your info, and see if Indiana owes you any money, or if anybody located in Indiana owes you money, because they have it, and they'll send you a check with that money. Myself, Matt, I don't know, Kylan, if you've ever gotten money from Indiana Unclaimed before. Have you done that or no?
I sure have. That was the
Okay,
best
we've all
thing
gotten
ever.
money. Right, isn't it? Yeah, okay. We've all gotten money. It's happened. Carl got money too, so everybody at WIBC has probably done this at some point now, and you should do it too, especially if you listen to us. But just put in your info, and they'll send it to you anywhere, even if you don't live in Indiana anymore, which is absolutely great. All right, I don't know why, and I promise it wasn't because of things I've been looking up myself, but Facebook tried to feed me a lot of really creepy stuff for Facebook Marketplace today for things that people might buy online. And I went with the mildest of the options that I was finding that seems odd. This is a, quote, handmade cuff or collar. It can be worn as either a handcuff or a neck collar. It's 12 to 13 inch size, so it fits the neck of a certain size and a wrist of a certain size. It is available in Mooresville, Indiana. It is $8 for a handmade leather cuff or collar. Any thoughts on buying a handmade thing like this from a person you don't know on the internet?
Yeah, this is something you could put around the neck of your dog or around your own neck if somebody was telling you to bark like a dog. You have options here, but for $8, man, that's a steal, especially for Mooresville. Good Lord, the home of leather collars, from what I'm told.
Is that true?
I have
had no idea. It was the nation's home for leather collars. It's fantastic. I get them there. I would never, ever buy anything used like this from another random person on the internet because of all the things I don't have answers to, all the questions I wouldn't want to ask and don't know. But I thought it was uniquely interesting that this was also handmade. I don't know why that came in to the, contemplation thing for me. But someone who needs to make this on their own and then sell it is a very distrustworthy person, in my opinion. I'm very confused as to what's going on here. But yes, that was just one of several items that popped up that were asking me to potentially share them on social media that probably have an inappropriate component to them. I don't know why that was. I don't know why Facebook Marketplace is trying to feed me the weird stuff that people are selling right now.
As if it's not the algorithm,
I was thinking about that. I'm like, what have I been clicking on for this show?
I'm always like, why am I getting? Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, that's a me thing, isn't it? Yeah.
You got me, Facebook. You're
well,
right.
what's funny is
I was looking at that.
Yeah. What's funny is for this show, like I look at Facebook Marketplace in Indianapolis. I don't even live there, and now I get a bunch of stuff like thrown at me that I would love to buy. Not the handmade collar thing, but other stuff like motorcycles and things that seem great priced. And then they're in Indianapolis. I can't go there and get that stuff. But it's nice, I guess, that it's getting fed to me this way. Look, people might be asking.
From the 500, it's like, here's a piece of tire from Emerson Fittipaldi's car in 1988.
Enjoy.
Like what I always wanted.
Yeah. If people are asking what the other items are that I was seeing online, if you're just curious about it, I will simply describe them. I'm not going to put up any sort of additional links to anything. But someone said they had a riding mask that was for sale, which did not look like a mask that would go on your face, is all I'll say about that. And riding, I think, meant motorcycle. But it was a leather riding mask that might mask a certain portion of the body. Well, on a motorcycle, maybe, late or in the year where it's very cold. I'm not sure how to say that, but that is an available item on social media. Plus, and this is odd, and I don't know if I'm outing myself, I also have a tremendous amount of plaid skirts that say that they're selling them to me right now. And some of them describe themselves as holiday skirt, which I don't know what that means.
Oh,
I'm very confused.
It's a kilt.
No,
right?
no. That's not what this is, Matt. I like that explanation, but this would be a very bad decision as a kilt, especially for a man to wear. The ones that are for sale in Marketplace that are showing them to me. Oh, plus Captain America's shield is available, so that's cool. That has nothing to do with any of this other stuff. That's nice.
I'm Scottish Captain America. Cleaned up the Facebook Marketplace.
I love wearing plaid skirts for the holidays. Maybe you were shopping for one for your wife.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. I don't think my wife would wear these ones.
Oh,
they don't seem like there's a coverage issue that seems like it might be a problem with some of these.
Okay, maybe don't wear it to the holidays.
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. No, these are the kind of things that would scar you for life if someone wore these that as far as kilt go. Do you know anybody that's ever worn a kilt, Matt, or no?
I've seen like maybe when I was 8, it was the Shriners on their little motorcycles, and they were wearing kilts, I think, in Missouri for some reason. I could never how did I remember that? Good Lord. Oh.
So 2 things. One, weird. I mentioned a guy named Gary Meyer on the radio here the other day. I think I was working with Kylan, and I got a text message from Gary, a WGN Radio Hall of Famer, or a Radio Hall of Famer who worked at WGN Radio for a while. He heard about it. Your audience told him, someone who listened to both shows. So I'm going to name drop another WGN person. His name is Brian Noonan. This man wore a kilt every St. Patrick's Day. And I have to tell you, and no offense to Brian, who's a friend of mine, if he turned the wrong way in the studio, you could be scarred for life.
Yeah.
It might have happened to some of the people that he worked with occasionally. So I would not recommend the kilt move. But now I want to see if Brian Noonan winds up hearing about a WIBC discussion about his kilt wearing over the years and whether or not that was a good move or not. I don't think he regrets it.
If you're wearing a kilt, you should be like log tumbling or something, like, picking up the end of a log and like throwing it over on its back on the other side, like what was that guy's name? Mangus or something? I don't know. He could throw logs though, and he always wore a kilt. Yeah, I
remember that guy. Yeah, the guy, and everybody thought he was attractive, right? Isn't that what the women were saying? Wasn't that a part of it?
He didn't turn the wrong way.
Okay. Yeah, no, I remember that part of it because of my wife, I think. That was a TikTok guy, right?
Yeah. He's like world's strongest man or something. He got really, he could turn over logs and tires, like giant tires. He could pull a fire truck with his waist.
Thanks for that memory in 2026, Matt. Yeah, I remember my wife showing me photos or like videos of that guy on TikTok being like, look at what this guy can do. I'm like, that's fantastic, honey. I'm going to go have another cookie and sit on the couch. This will be great for us both. All right, quick.
I'm going to hide my head in shame now that you showed me this.
Craig, I have a question. As this being your last marketplace segment before you fill in for Tony in the future, have you found a human cannon machine?
I have not found a human cannon machine. Thank you.
I don't even know. Did you figure out how to look it up properly?
Here's the funniest thing, Kylan. There is a how-to build like your own human cannon machine. There's no one that'll sell you one, but there is a set of different steps. And this feels like a Matt and Craig Excellent podcast thing of how you could make your own cannon to fire yourself out of it at home. So I did find that. I found all the steps. And Matt, this might not make any sense if you didn't hear Kylan and I talking about this. I would like to be launched out of a cannon in 2026 to promote WIBC somehow. I would like to be the guy that does the crazy thing, as crazy stunts are now a thing more and more. So I'm volunteering for it. And if need be, I'll figure out the cannon part of my own.
I love everything about this.
Awesome.
I've always wanted to be shot out of a cannon. And I spread my ashes this way would be actually.
That's true. That would be nice. Well, I'd like to live. I mean, I didn't throw that in as a component. I would like to live.
Yeah. You got to keep that going. Got to keep the life force going.
So maybe we turn this into a promoting the Matt and Craig Excellent podcast at WIBC. We'll do crazy stunts in Indianapolis. We just need a human cannon.
That's right. Anybody want to build us a human cannon, and we will definitely use it.
Can't buy it on Amazon, but who knows? Someone might be selling it on Marketplace.
There's got to be a Civil War monument around here somewhere.
Got to be somebody.
Back the cannon.
Let me ask you this, Matt, and it's a very important question before we hit a traffic break here coming up. If we did acquire a cannon and you and I were both willing to be fired out of it, are you going first or second?
Oh, I go first. Yeah,
okay.
I won't be able to wait. Fantastic. It's not because I have to be first. It's because I'll be sick the longer I watch and think about it. So
no. Yeah. That works great for us. I'd rather go second just to see where you land and how it goes.
Hey,
I would like to plan accordingly.
Can we pick our destination, like where we want to land?
I doubt it.
Yeah,
I don't think
put
so.
the net here, okay.
No, I think the cannon picks for us, buddy. I think that's how that works.
The North Shore.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, fired anywhere we want. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got traffic for you now.
All right, fellas. Looking at, Kylan and Craig. I didn't mean to say fellas. Looking at I-65. Between Lafayette Road and 38th Street, we have black ice reported at the Georgetown Road Bridge. Just be careful on those bridges, entrance ramps, exit ramps today if you're making your way to work. And not a lot of people doing that, as we have a lot of room on the interstates today. Low volume, so people moving up to speed. Just have a nice ride in. Happy New Year. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. I was very shocked when you said fellas, too, because I'm like, man, I did not know that. Kylan does not sound, but who knows? I've never been there to the station, so I was very curious. Anyway, I'm moving on to
Kylan dudes. There are so many Kylans that are
I've only met one total Kylan, and you would be the entirety of the Kylans. All right, anyway, partly sunny, a high of 32. It looks like today, 19 is the current temperature. Downtown Indianapolis, that is cold, and it's going to remain cold for a while. It feels like 12. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Narco-terrorists dead in the water.
93 WIBC.
We have a massive armada for them, the biggest we've ever had.
What happens next?
The death toll now topping 100.
Happens here.
Russia is pledging full support for Maduro's government.
Ukraine says it was attacked overnight.
Stay in the know.
The DOJ is still withholding Epstein files.
While you're on the go.
Threatening to hold Attorney General Pam Bondi in contempt of Congress.
A wheelchair-bound Army veteran detained by ICE.
$1.7 billion, the fourth largest lottery prize ever.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Wheat Grow Hair Indy. You know, champions just don't show up. They pick the right team to get the best results. And when it comes to restoring your hair, We Grow Hair Indy is that team. You know, 5 years ago, I made the choice to head over to We Grow Hair Indy. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm so glad I did. You know, guys at the top of their game, radio personalities, coaches, and well-known athletes have all trusted We Grow Hair Indy to restore their hair. Why? Because their results are permanent, natural, and speak for themselves. Here's what you do. You call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Schedule a totally free, no-hassle, no-obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, the fine folks at We Grow Hair Indy, will take a look at what's going on top of your head and make some suggestions on how you can get your hair and your confidence back. Then it's up to you. In the meantime, see some other folks who have made the choice to get their confidence back by heading over to WeGrowHairIndy.com. 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 101 West Ohio, Indianapolis.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
KC and the Sunshine Band, live at Old National Center, January 23rd at 7:30 p.m. It's the ultimate throwback party. Get your tickets today at WIBC.com.
When I wake up in the morning, love.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Matt is hanging out as he does every morning on this show. Kylan is on special assignment as well. I saw a post on one of my favorite places online. Am I the jerk is what I usually call it on the air. Am I the A word is what it actually is on Reddit. People go there, they describe things, they ask who the jerk is and who isn't. This person, I think, is a teenager who said that her half-sister asked her for a specific Christmas gift leading up to the Christmas holiday. She didn't even want to say what it was, but whatever the gift was, the older sister thought it was inappropriate, not because it's, somehow salacious, but because it would have inspired her younger sister to pursue a dream that was unachievable. That's the best way I can describe this post. She essentially said that I didn't get her the gift she wanted for Christmas because I wanted to accept the reality that this thing that she's dreaming of doing someday won't come true. Brutal. A brutal decision as far as I'm concerned. 14 and 16 does seem like ages where you should be able to dream about whatever and not be told that it's not true. It did remind me of a time when I was a little kid that my uncle took me out to the park to play basketball. I must have been like 11 or 12. I feel like I've even told this story on the air before. And I mentioned to him that I wanted to be the next Michael Jordan. And my uncle proceeded to tell me that that was absolutely not going to happen and just crushed my dreams, man. I remember I walked home with him just like weeping, and I got inside and my mom was like, what happened? And I'm like, he said I'm not going to be Michael Jordan. Now, in the grand scheme of things, Unc was right. I did not become Michael Jordan. So it probably was good to give up on the dream. But I ask you guys this question. When is it that you actually have to tell somebody that they have to bag it and, give up on something? Is it 10, 11, 12, 14, or I assume most of us would say probably a little later in life where you tell somebody that dream's probably not coming true?
Unless I'm the parent,
just let it go.
I don't
forever.
think it's my place, man. I don't think I have any place to tell anybody that ever. Now I get it. You're not going to be Michael Jordan.
And I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean?
Sorry.
I was the next one, dude.
Waited for your growth spurt to kick in. Come on.
Yeah.
You still have 10 years.
Right, at least a little bit. I agree with you, Matt, that it's probably not my place to tell somebody that. However, I will say that if you have somebody that's a buddy of yours now, like say in their late 30s, that's still holding out hope for some kind of dream that's probably not happening, there might be a way to have a conversation with that guy about how, I love that you want to be a stand-up comedian. The fact that every time you do improv or stand-up, no one laughs might mean that it's not your calling. It might mean it's not for you. But that's probably when you'd actually inject yourself into something much, much later on than at anyone who's a kid.
Yeah, if somebody's spending like a lot of money, like maybe you're traveling to those comedy clubs all over and spending gas and flights and all that. I mean, I guess if you're already doing all that, that somebody's booking you, right? So maybe somebody's laughing, but I don't know, man. I don't want to be, and maybe this just makes me, a bad person, but I don't ever want to be that one who says, no, you can't do something because you're not good enough. I mean, that's a tough out for me. That's somebody else's job, and they do it a lot better than I do.
Yeah, I don't think that makes you a bad person. I think that makes you a very nice person, Matt.
No.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. But I did just find that it was funny that the person asked online as a kid, they're 16, whether or not they should have crushed the dreams of their 14-year-old sister. And my answer, and most of the internet's answer, by the way, is no. You probably shouldn't have done that.
Well,
and I don't know
was
what
it, man?
reason.
I want to know what the dream was. That's everything here. That's everything.
Yeah, it was about being a social media influencer and traveling and all kinds of stuff. And it was something that the younger person wanted to help them travel and everything. And the older person thought it was inappropriate and didn't want to do it. That's the best way to surmise it. Because there's a lot of pieces to the post itself. Because I don't think they actually described the exact gift. But I think it was about the dream of being a social media influencer and that not being a thing that's likely to come true. Although it could, that one could. That feels like anybody can go viral for any reason. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That help?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't want to crush anybody's dreams, though. Like you, Matt. I said that. And I remember again, my uncle still hears about this to this day. It's still, whenever it comes up, he's like, oh, that time at the park, Craig. You got to tell me again. And then we sit there and he's like, and by the way, are you Michael Jordan? And I have to say no.
Yeah.
And so then I walk home crying at 40.
It's your fault too, Uncle. I gave it up.
It is. Honestly, I was on my way, man. I was dunking like Michael Jordan on that 6-foot rim. You should have seen me. If only I had kept going, then who knows? All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got your traffic.
Interstates look great right now. Not a lot of people around. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
There's one name for every home system, Chapman. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drains, electrical, and now proudly serving Bloomington. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Step into the spotlight with Dancing with the Stars. Catch the live show at Old National Center Wednesday, February 25th. Reserve your seats and tickets today at WIBC.com.
Hi, I'm Arielle Winter.
If you're anything like me, your pets are not only your best friends, they're part of your family. American Humane, which has been rescuing animals like Cleo here for more than 100 years, has life-saving tips that can make a big difference before, during, and after disasters such as hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, or wildfires. So when disaster strikes, you want to be prepared to protect them. Be sure to microchip or tag your pets. Never leave them behind in a major crisis, and be sure to have an emergency kit ready in your home at all times with a pet crate or carrier, leash, blanket, ID, and medications, their water bowl, and 7 to 10 days worth of food. To find out how to protect your entire family during a disaster and help our best friends in their worst times, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Experience Trump 1 year later with Tony Katz on January 24th at 6 p.m. Enjoy thought-provoking discussion, tasty hors d'oeuvres, and a chance to mingle with others. Thanks to our sponsor, PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. More info at WIBC.com.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at GotYour6.org.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what happened at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena last night? What brought Indianapolis cops to the Near East side of the city this morning? Why a former Indy broker may be spending time in jail, and when hospitals say their first babies were delivered of the year. After Fox News from the Technology Recycler Studios, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
A warning to Iran and a boast about his health. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump has posted both early this morning on Truth Social. First, as economic protests in Iran rage a 6th day, leading to 7 deaths, the president wrote,
"If Iran kills protesters, the U.S. will come to their rescue, that we are locked and loaded and ready to go." An advisor to the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, said any interventionist hand that gets too close to the security of Iran will be cut. The former Speaker of the Parliament wrote that Trump should know intervention by the U.S. corresponds to a destruction of U.S. interests.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. On the other Truth Social post, the president wrote a short time ago he's in perfect health and aced a cognitive test a third straight time, adding it's an exam no other president was willing to take. This after a Wall Street Journal interview focused on reports he's showing his age, now 79.
Since returning to the White House, cameras have caught the president appearing to fall asleep in meetings. The president telling the Journal, "Sometimes they'll take a picture of me blinking, and they'll catch me with the blink." The president also says bruising that has been seen on his hand is due to the large dose of aspirin he takes daily, despite being encouraged by doctors to take a lower dose.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson in West Palm Beach near the Trump, Florida resort. Now to the mayor of New York City, the president calls a communist. It's day 2 in office for Zoran Mamdani, who has already signed executive orders on housing and tenant protection, saying at his inauguration he'll run the city as a democratic socialist and not fear being called a radical.
"We will govern without shame and insecurity, making no apology for what we believe."
They're still trying to identify the victims of a New Year's Day disaster in the Swiss Alps. A fire broke out in a bar an hour and a half into 2026. This man was there.
And a lot of people were screaming, trying to escape, and I saw a lot of people on the floor. And I think these people was dead.
40 people were killed, some of them foreign tourists celebrating the New Year in Switzerland, another 115 injured. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The Hoosiers deliver a beatdown in Pasadena. Radar clear in downtown Indianapolis, where it's 20 degrees, going up to 31. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. And that was the scene as IU fans packed Kilroy's downtown last night as the Rose Bowl kicked off, and IU wasted no time in the first quarter.
Here's the snap back to Fernando. Has time, rolling over the middle. He's got Becker. Oh, what a catch! Charlie Becker! Touchdown, Indiana! Tremendous throw by Fernando Mendoza.
Don Fisher on the IU radio network from Learfield as the Hoosiers pulled ahead early. That catch made it 10-0, and there was no letting up. The Hoosiers cruised to a 38-3 win over Alabama in the Rose Bowl to advance in the college football playoff.
We had this planned out, during film. We were like, this is going to be open, so just be ready. And, when the time came, I'm just happy that I was able to, me and Fernando have that connection.
And that's Charlie Becker speaking to Wish TV right after the game as the top-ranked Indiana team heads now to the Peach Bowl next Friday for a matchup or a rematch with Oregon, whom they beat earlier this year 30-23. IU is 2 wins away from a national title. Indianapolis recorded its first homicide of the year early this morning as the police were called to North Tuxedo Street. That's right by East 10th and North Sherman Drive on the city's Near East Side right before 1 o'clock for a report of a crash. But when officers got there, they quickly realized a man had been shot inside of his car. He was taken to the hospital, and that's where he died. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is bringing charges against an Indianapolis broker. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
It's 3 counts of fraud. 61-year-old Gerardo Lenarduzzi was officially charged with that after the SEC says he stole millions of dollars from investors through his company's Real Estate Acceleration Loans program. Lenarduzzi was a former managing partner of Drive Planning LLC based in Atlanta, but with an office in Indiana that he ran. The SEC claims Lenarduzzi played a major role in Drive Planning's Ponzi scheme that resulted in them stealing over $330 million from people all across the country, including in Indiana. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Indianapolis didn't waste any time adding to its population in 26. While most people were celebrating the new year, hospitals across the city were already welcoming their first newborns. Franciscan Health got the early start delivering its first baby at 1:16. Not long after that, Eskenazi reported its first birth at 1:25, though that family chose to keep the information private. Community Health Network followed a couple of hours later, announcing its first arrival at 3:33. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the go and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, Ryan, some black ice out there here this morning, like I-6570 around Washington Street Bridge. Black ice reported there. And I-65 on the northwest side between Lafayette Road and 38th Street, specifically the Georgetown Road Bridge. We have ice reported there as well. If we could have it in those couple of spots, you could have it anywhere. So please be safe, especially on those entrance and exit ramps here this morning. They could be slick. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Their sleep experts will help you find your dream bed. From quality selection, they make sleep easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We're going to look for a mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon today with high temperatures right around 33. No issues or problems later tonight. Look for a partly cloudy sky with lows right around 23. And this weekend, overall, not bad. We'll look for a mix of sun and clouds for both Saturday and Sunday. 34 Saturday, 35 on Sunday. And we begin a warming trend next week. Upper 40s Monday and 50s through the mid and latter half of the week.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Right now, it is 8:06 Friday morning. Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. I'll be honest, during the holidays, especially holidays like this, there is less big news. Less things happen. President Trump has said that if Iran hurts any of the peaceful protesters there, we're locked and loaded and ready to respond to that. That's a big deal. President Trump has said and done a lot over the last few days, but news feels lighter than it probably will in just a few days. By next week, it'll feel like we're back to a typical news cycle. Because of that, I wanted to take a second and talk about something that Elon Musk is saying he's going to do and why I think it matters. Elon Musk is saying that Twitter is, or X, as it's supposed to be called now, will be upping the amount of money that content creators can make on its platform. This might be enough money to actually surpass the amount that people make on YouTube. How exactly it works, still questions about it, and whether or not this will cause people to, say, chase dollars as opposed to give us valuable information that already exists on social media and anywhere else anyway. So that's one of the questions people are asking. The more money you pay people to go viral, the more likely the content is designed just to be viral and not necessarily to be valuable in our society. But Elon also says there will be certain rigorous prevention systems in place to stop people from gaming the system. He wants to attract high-quality creators. The reason I want to talk about this, and of course it's somewhat inspired by the thing that happened in Minnesota and Nick Shirley, the YouTuber who went viral for doing what regular news normally does and hasn't done for a long time, which is go find the story where we're told it is, essentially go visit the places that we're told are fraudulent and see, in fact, if they look fraudulent. More and more, I think we can expect a lot of other individuals to try this. I think a lot of other people are already doing this. But if they don't have a following for it, it just becomes noise that no one hears. And you do see a lot of videos now of people showing up at some of these places in Minnesota and getting yelled at by the people who are there and the fighting, and everybody pulls out a camera. That's the other funny thing now. When I see some of these conflicts that go viral online where two people are yelling at each other, you usually have two people also holding their phone and pointing their phone at the other individual and maybe even live streaming it, because that seems to be what people think is like the best protection mechanism in our society. And I'll tell you, it's not perfect. There are people that might still hurt you just because you're filming them hurting you. It might still happen. But nonetheless, I do think this is interesting that Elon Musk would announce this a few days after that viral video and the success of it and the way mainstream media eventually responded to it. Because by and large, my belief is that the lack of filter that now exists on X compared to what it had before is part of the reason we know more. Now, granted, I have friends of mine who will send me just stuff they find on Twitter. Like every day I'll get text from a buddy of mine who I very much respect, a very smart guy, cares a whole lot about what's going on in the world of politics, but he'll just send me like clip after clip and story after story, and it's all over the place with who the person is that is providing the information on the internet. And so you have to take it with a grain of salt. I don't distrust him or necessarily immediately distrust someone because they don't work for mainstream media, because I'd actually distrust them more, I think, if they worked with a bunch of mainstream media outlets that we already know don't give us the information they're supposed to. But it becomes a very difficult game of deciding what pieces of content or pieces of news media you get, if that's what you want to call it, that you think are actually credible. So I think there's got to be a system there that eventually lets us better understand that without it being a checks and balances by anyone from the outside. And I think the best possible system is just see the people who rise to the top of the heap and why they rise to the top, and always have the ability to second guess stuff yourself and look into it however you can to see if anybody else is saying the thing that this person is saying, even if that doesn't always work. Because the last thing I'll say, and this is in response to stuff like the Nick Shirley video, no one else was doing what he did. No one else can confirm the things that he confirmed, and not because they couldn't, they choose not to. So there is a version there of everyone else trying not to do the thing that maybe the one independent journalist is doing to stand out, that makes it even harder to follow a typical version of I want to check and see if anybody else is saying this, so then I know it's true. And in that case, you just got to spend some time. You got to watch the whole video. You got to watch all of the different things that happen in it and then decide for yourself, I guess, much like a whole lot of us did. But I just thought that was interesting that at this time of year, going into 2026 now officially, and with all the different ways in which I think independent journalists, which is what they're called, are far more important to us understanding the truth of anything than anyone else, that some of these places where they do make money might enhance the way that money is being paid, which can be both a good and a bad thing, to say the very least. But all right, we'll take a break. More coming up. I promise to keep you updated on all the news that's important and valuable. But Craig Collins filling in, Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Are you a business owner or self-employed? Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more? Pay close attention. Do not ignore this message. The IRS has unmatched power. They can freeze your bank account, garnish your paycheck, seize your assets, and even shut down your business. If you've received a notice or think one is coming, the clock is already ticking. Every day you wait, penalties grow and the problem gets worse. Call Federated Tax today. We'll connect you with an experienced tax professional who will negotiate directly with the IRS on your behalf. You may qualify for IRS hardship programs like the Fresh Start Initiative or many other programs that can stop garnishments, stop bank account seizures, reduce or even eliminate penalties, and lower your settlement amount. The IRS won't wait, and neither should you. Call Federated Tax today, 800-370-1384. The call and consultation are free. That's 800-370-1384. 800-370-1384.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here with a special message from my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Thanks, Pat. Jack Hope here. 2025 was a year of growth for us as we added HVAC and electrical services to our business. This growth was due in large part to customers like you. Your support, your loyalty, and your trust has shaped Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling into who we are today. Thank you for making this year one to remember and for continuing to welcome us into your homes.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. Well, a new year is here, and one of the first things done at the beginning of each year is making New Year's resolutions. This coming year, with all the economical and financial issues going on right now, along with some major financial law changes, it is no surprise there will be a lot of New Year's resolutions in 2026 that will be financially related. So join me on this weekend show as we share with you some specific financial resolutions to consider. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Experience Trump 1 year later with Tony Katz on January 24th at 6 p.m. Enjoy thought-provoking discussion, tasty hors d'oeuvres, and a chance to mingle with others. Thanks to our sponsor, PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. More info at WIBC.com. Step into the spotlight with Dancing with the Stars. Catch the live show at Old National Center Wednesday, February 25th. Reserve your seats and tickets today at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Pretty good, Craig. Not a lot of people are out here this morning, but for those of you who are, watch out for some black ice. We have it reported on I-65 between 38th and Lafayette Road over the Georgetown Road Bridge. So please be careful there. And black ice reported downtown on 6570 Washington Street. If it's there, it could be anywhere. Just please be careful with those on and off ramps here today. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. Ready to find the right candidates for your job posting? Indeed sponsored jobs help connect you with talent that actually matches what you're looking for. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Partly sunny, a high of 32 for today, 19 right now in downtown Indianapolis. This temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Matt hanging out as he does every single morning on this show. Kylan here on special assignment. I saw this story. I thought it was interesting. A man has let deadly snakes bite him 200 times in what he is, and the internet is calling a crazy experiment. The guy then gives himself some sort of anti-venom so he doesn't die. And when asked why he's doing this, he told different news outlets that he's trying to see if his body eventually develops some sort of immunity to some of the snake bites so that he can help treat others. He's essentially trying to become a pseudo superhero so that his body can then be studied in a way that helps, have snake venom treatment get better. Unnecessary is what I would say first. None of the snakes that he's letting bite him have an incurable version of venom anyway. So I feel like the thing he's doing, we already have a decent enough solution to it. And then second, it's just nuts. But anyone else? Matt, do you want to respond to a guy who's let snakes bite him a bunch of times and is happily still alive?
Well, the record will never be broken. Okay. He's got that.
He will go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the legacy for his grandkids and kids. He does have his mark on society. I think this would be cool if, his research was benefiting Alzheimer's or dementia, or there's some kind of medical application to this. But no, it's just some jackass getting bit by snakes over and over again. and hey, you're a tough guy. You're tough, man.
Yeah, he's tough.
You have a great immune system. Congratulations on
apparently. He's been doing this for 18 years, by the way, that he's been letting snakes bite him that are mostly deadly. And the news has finally paid attention. It only took 18 years to get there. But I do love that you say that his, thing will never be broken. His jersey will get retired in the Snake Biting Hall of Fame.
Right.
Like, he'll be, by and large, the only guy in there. And I love the fact that his excuse is so stupid. I'm trying to see if my body eventually builds up some kind of immunity that might help and, teach somebody else. That's fine. This is the kind of dude that you would tell to give up on his dreams. The segment we were doing before, this is the kind of person that you'd sit down and be like, bro, you don't need to have a snake bite you 201 times. You've done it. You've been there. Let's move on and do other stuff. All right. Something else I saw that I like a lot. How many minutes you lose or gain in your life based on the food decisions you make, according to a 2021 study that has randomly gone viral yet again out of the University of Michigan. I think this thing or something like it usually goes viral this time of year. But it calculates, and it calls them healthy minutes. So it's not actually trying to tell you that you're going to die, 30 minutes earlier if you do this, or live 30 minutes longer if you do that. But your life has an additional amount of healthy minutes based on some decisions. I'll give you an example. Eating a hot dog loses you 36 healthy minutes of life every time you do it. You have 36 less. That's what it says. Each hot dog costs you 36 healthy minutes. They could be unhealthy and still exist. You don't have to be dead. But again, that's 36 minutes per hot dog, according to this study. That sounds horrible. That sounds terrible. You lose a whopping 12 minutes for every sugary drink you consume. So my wife, who was telling me to give up sugary drinks, would really love this study. If I tell her about it, I don't intend to. I'm going to keep this with me to the grave. And you guys, we're all going to keep a secret from the missus not to tell you this. Any reaction to the study that tells you about healthy minutes gained or lost?
If a hot dog takes 36 minutes off your life, I can only imagine what a cigarette does. It's just
cigarette wasn't even studied, man. They didn't even study that.
Yeah. The hell with that. We're just talking about food here, right? Okay.
Sure. Yes, correct.
You don't eat the cigarette, as far as I know.
Not usually. Not what I've heard.
Yeah, enjoy your life. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Make good decisions. Make good plans as far as
don't worry about
health goes. Yeah, go have your hot dog. Have a New Year's hot dog and put all the stuff on it and just have a stomach combustion later in the day. That's what I would encourage. You know
what's funny about this? Oh, go ahead, Kylan.
That's the thing. It's just everything in moderation. Don't go eating. Okay, well, I can't say that. I've done that. I was gonna say you can't just go and eat 7 hot dogs for 7 innings at about. But okay.
Wait,
maybe
what?
just like once works. It's okay.
You've eaten 7 hot dogs at a game before?
Have you never heard that challenge? It's supposed to be like 1 hot dog per inning.
No, and you've done this? Okay.
Yeah. It's supposed to be added with like a beer as well. 7 beers and 7 hot dogs. It's a whole thing.
Oh, wow.
So maybe that's not very healthy. So everything in moderation. But they also have foods that can help gain you minutes of healthy life. And the biggest one on this graph that I'm looking at is a PB&J. I would like to mention.
Whoa. That's awesome. How many minutes do you get for the PB&J? I don't see that.
30.
Wow.
You get 30 minutes. Eat a PB&J and eat a hot dog. You're pretty much neutral.
Well, see, so that's what I was going to say, actually, in response to this. Like a banana gives you 13 and a half minutes. Salmon gives you 16 minutes of additional healthy life.
What is going on here? I mean, how do you... How did they do it? Who's in the sample space of this study? Just kind of like stand over their decomposing body and be like, okay, 13 minutes because
we think this, I don't know. The University of Michigan did the study, but I'll say this, that I think that I'm too tempted now to try to counterbalance. Like every time I have 2 hot dogs, I'm going to want 7 bananas, and then I'll be fine. Then it'll all be okay. It'll all just even out. That's probably not what they're trying to tell me from this study, but I do find it pretty interesting. I love the PB&J thing, though, because I've told Kylan before off the air that when I work here at home, and definitely during the holidays when I do a lot of shifts, my wife will bring me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches like I'm a small child, and it's great. It's absolutely lovely. It's the best thing ever. It gets put on the side of my studio, and I just eat them. And I'm doing 3 shows today, by the way. You will hear me here, and then I'm filling in nationally for both Chad Benson and Dana Lash, which both air on this station. So later tonight, when you hear back-to-back Craig Collins filling in on shows, That's not a mistake. They didn't make an error. I just happened to be on both shows tonight. So I'll have multiple peanut butter and jellies today, which is exciting.
Congratulations, man. That's cool.
Thank you,
Hey,
buddy.
you're gaining minutes in life. Let's go, Craig.
We assume I am, although I'm also drinking all the fizzy drinks. All right, other things out there. I saw this. McDonald's will launch its first ever secret menu with incredible items starting next week. I don't think this is actually getting launched here in the United States. So I'll just put that out there that by and large, all the secret menu items are probably stuff that people can get other places, but you might be able to ask for them. The chicken fajita wrap McDonald's sandwich is one of several items that will now be on its secret menu.
You want to talk about food that takes minutes off your life. I mean, seriously, if it wasn't for fast food, we'd all live to 110. I'm certain of this.
Probably.
Yeah. You know, if it wasn't for some of our diet choices. So the chicken fajita wrap is coming back, and this is going to be international. Is the international McDonald's getting all the McRibs? Is that what's happening?
I don't see any McRib mentioned here. I don't see any of that, man. Yeah, you would think the McRib would be on the secret menu forever, but it's not here.
It's really not food, but it tastes good. I mean, nobody knows what the McRib is, and it's just kind of covered in barbecue. But if they're going to miss out on the McRib, you know, that should be on the secret menu everywhere.
You're right. If McRib isn't on the secret menu, bah humbug to the entire secret menu is what I'm saying. I get it. I like this, though. I didn't know this was a thing, and I don't think we do this here. In the UK, they call people who like McDonald's Mackies. The Mackies out there who love to go to the McDonald's. Yeah, Mackies. We don't have Mackies here, do we?
I mean, everybody's a Mackie in America.
That's why
I'm a Mackie. Yeah. You're a Mackie. We're all Mackies. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's just a way of them saying fat American, you know. Maybe that's what's going on there. Instead of saying fat American, they just say Mackies, you know.
That's that made me laugh a lot.
You come a long way for McDonald's, yank.
If I go to the UK and someone goes, "Hey, Mackie, how you doing?" I'll know that's an insult now. I'll now officially know.
Going back
to
the hostel.
Being very mean. All right. One last thing that I saw out there as far as like speeding through a bunch of sillier stories. Apparently, there's another term that will be very popular this month. It is not people who are doing a dry January, but they are not drinking any alcohol. They call themselves California sober. This means that instead of having alcohol, you choose a different narcotic thing, which is illegal in Indiana to consume in general. Apparently, instead of being drunk, you're high. So that is the idea, to be California sober and turn toward marijuana. Anyone with about a minute to go before traffic want to respond to the idea of being, hey, I'm not drinking, I'm just doing this other thing.
It just feels like cheating to me.
Sure.
I don't want to judge anybody, but as soon as you said California sober, I was thinking, yeah, let's get high. Smoke some grass, can't drink, so...
I think it's hard to call yourself sober if you're not sober, right? Like, I think it's an either or.
Yes.
I think you got to be fully sober. You can't be a variation of sober. Yeah. And in this case, California sober seems wrong.
That's one of those things there's really not a fine line to. It's kind of either or,
right.
You know?
Yes.
Just my experience, you know, there's something there, yeah.
Yeah, as a guy who talks about this on another podcast that you do all the time. I think you and Ryan Hedrick put up a post on social media, too, on New Year's Day, right? Something like that?
Yeah. Supporting sobriety.
That's cool.
Find it on any podcast provider. And,
nice.
we were talking about, hey, it's amateur hour, you know, update your Uber apps and, you know, get all that cleared away. And it's hopefully everybody was able to have a good holiday and keep it safe. You know, that's the most important thing. That's what we were talking about, you know, just happy holidays. But it's going to be crazy tonight. Yeah.
That's awesome. That was really great to put that out there. Everybody can find it on the social media pages for WIBC. A quick break, a lot coming up. Matt's got your traffic.
Yeah, we just hit coming out of the North Split, Craig. It's the east side eastbound 70. Crash after the North Split, and that is blocking the left lane. A bit of a slowdown there. No major delay. And 52.7 miles of 465 looking pretty good at the moment. Could have some ice on the entrance and exit ramps, so please be mindful of that. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
months. Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. But most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed or your money back. Only $59.99. Destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, or weight gain, or your money back. Hypnosis January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss of 5:30 p.m., stop smoking at 8. And January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking at 2. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey, honey, take your blood pressure medication.
Thanks, dear.
Daddy,
Yeah, Mikey.
are you going to the hospital again for a heart attack?
No, son. Bad medication from a fake online pharmacy sent me to the hospital. My pills didn't have enough of the right medicine for my blood pressure. We learned the hard way that it's important to buy medication only from sites that have either been approved by NABP or that end in .pharmacy, so we know they're safe. Okay?
Okay, Daddy.
Many rogue online pharmacies sell medications with too much, too little, or the wrong medicine, and counterfeiters may even use harmful fillers to make cheap pills. The National Association of Boards of Pharmacy urges everyone to make sure their online pharmacy is legitimate and to watch in coming months for more websites with a .pharmacy URL. These have been vetted as safe and legal. Learn more at safe.pharmacy, a public service from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The Supreme Court is still deciding about Trump's tariffs. Your radar is clear in downtown Indianapolis. It's 21 degrees, a high of 31. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. The U.S. is delaying its tariff hikes on several products.
Tariff hikes on upholstered furniture, kitchen cabinets, and vanities were set to kick in on January 1st, but the White House is now keeping the rate at 25%, at least for the next year. Sharing in a statement, the United States continues to engage in productive negotiations with trade partners to address trade reciprocity and national security concerns with respect to imports of wood products. The United States will therefore delay the increase in tariff rates. The president was planning to double the tariff rate on cabinets and vanities and raise the tax on sofa and armchairs from 25% to 30% to help revive the furniture industry in North Carolina.
That's Fox's Rebecca Castor reporting. Newly elected New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani holding his first inauguration ceremony on the steps of City Hall Thursday.
That I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of the Mayor of the City of New York.
Of the office of the Mayor of the City of New York.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And that's Mamdani being sworn in by Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, becoming the first Muslim mayor in the city's history and the first mayor of South Asian descent. Over 20 million people in the United States are now facing higher insurance costs after the Congress allowed federal tax subsidies to expire at year's end. The average cost of premiums through the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, is expected to rise by nearly 30%. A video from independent journalist Nick Shirley getting nationwide attention and raising concerns about possible fraud at daycares in Minnesota.
Minneapolis police investigating an alleged break-in at Nokomis Daycare Center in Minneapolis, where the owner says earlier this week someone cut through a cinder block wall, crawled through a small opening to get inside, and then broke into their office and stole documents with information about the children they're taking care of. While this particular daycare was not featured in Nick Shirley's viral video, it is one of the dozens flagged to state investigators earlier this year for continually receiving more than $1 million in federal funding despite multiple repeated violations on record.
Fox's Garrett Tenney reporting in Chicago. Gas prices starting 26 under $3 a gallon nationwide. AAA says the average cost across the country right now $2.83, and Indiana a penny under at $2.82. Now sports on WIBC yesterday at the Rose Bowl.
Here's the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw it, does throw it, the end zone, touchdown!
Don Fisher with the call on the IU radio network from Learfield as the Lawrence North alum hauled in a nice catch to make it 17-0 from there. It was all IU, top-ranked IU rolling past Alabama in the Rose Bowl 38-3.
This team is special, man. We've talked about it since day one. When you care about each other so much, it's not only teammates, but as a family, it takes you far places. And we're seeing that come to fruition now, and we're so happy for our guys and our coaches and our staff.
Linebacker Aiden Fisher speaking with Wish TV. IU heads to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl next Friday to play Oregon, a team they've already beaten this season. With 2 wins left, IU closing in on a national title. The Indianapolis Colts wrap up their season Sunday against the Houston Texans on the road, and tonight the Indiana Pacers look to break a 10-game losing streak when they take on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:35, traffic on the 5s. What's up, Matt Bear?
All right, Ryan, looking at eastbound 70 coming out of the north split. That's a crash. It's on the shoulder. Traffic is slowing to the north split and a little bit on northbound 6570. Northeast side crash, northbound 69 before East 96th Street. Also on the shoulder. A slowdown there, but no delay. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It's going to be cold for the next few days. And then actually, it sounds like it's going to be warm at some point next week, which is kind of nice. But right now in downtown Indianapolis, it feels like it's 11 degrees. It's actually 20. So take that for what it is. 29 is now the high. I thought it used to be in the 30s. It's gone down. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. What's going on right now in Iran is what the Biden administration hoped would have happened in Russia right after Russia invaded Ukraine. What I mean by that is at the time, then President and Autopen of the United States, Joe Biden, thought that people would rise up and kill Putin and decide that the things that were happening in Russia were terrible for the Russian people. Iran is having that level of unrest. They are known to kill protesters, to just open fire and shoot them so that they get them to stop doing the thing. So President Trump on Truth Social last night said, basically, if that happens, the U.S. is locked and loaded, his words, and ready to intervene in whatever that might be. There is also news out of Venezuela that the president there, Maduro, is willing to sit down and chat with the United States about oil, about drug trade, about anything. I don't think that the United States would like Maduro to stay in power in the ridiculously corrupt place that is Venezuela and the horrible conditions for everyday people that live there. I do think it's interesting on the macro level to look at the influence the United States can have on the rest of the world when the rest of the world believes we'd actually take action. That's the difference, I think, between Biden and Trump, and that is in a good way. I think that's also what's getting us closer to a peace deal between between Ukraine and Russia. What gets us peace deals between Israel and Hamas, anyone, is the belief that the United States would wield its tremendous military strength, if necessary, in ways that maybe people wouldn't assume we would do it. And actually, that goes to one other thing. Brand new into the new year, as we're talking about some of the biggest news stories you're likely to see continue to be a thing in 2026, a discussion about the U.S.'s offer of protection to Ukraine, whatever that's going to wind up being. I think Ukraine wants 50 years. The United States would rather have 10 or 15. And a lot of people have opinions about that. A lot of conservatives feel as though it would be inappropriate for the U.S. to be forced to step in if Russia were to invade whatever Ukraine is left with after giving up some territory, mostly contested territory that honestly there's been a lot of fighting for a long time in those places. But if Ukraine's sovereignty is threatened after that peace deal, the U.S. might have to step in. A lot of people don't want to see that because essentially it means World War III. But the reason I think that at least while Trump is in office, Russia wouldn't reinvade Ukraine is the belief that the United States would act. Places like Russia and people like Putin rely on the idea that we would stand down and not actually behave the way that everyone would be afraid of the U.S. behaving. And when Trump is in power, not that he's ever actually done this. If you remember, even the first time he got elected, people were afraid that he'd have the nuclear codes at his disposal to do whatever he wants with. There is a version of society that's safer because of the belief that someone isn't just bluffing. You know what I equate it to? And I know this is sort of a macro dive on a topic that's probably fairly generic, getting into the new year. But these are things I think will be big stories throughout 2026, the ongoing conflicts, potential conflicts in Venezuela and the United States, whatever's going to happen between China and Taiwan, which at times seem to be more provocative toward the end of the year here, et cetera, et cetera. But I equate a lot of this to playing poker, which is probably terrible. It's probably why I would never be an actual, president of the United States and wouldn't want to run to be one, is that I would see it the way that maybe Trump sees making business deals in some sense. I would see it like poker. And if you keep bluffing and people know that you're bluffing and they keep getting you to fold your hand if they re-raise you, you will lose a ton of money. You will not be a successful player. You have to occasionally make good on the bluff, meaning you bet a lot of money and someone thinks, he doesn't really have a good hand. And then you flip it over and darn it, you do have a good hand. That's the way to win, is to occasionally be telling the truth or occasionally be willing to have your actions meet your words. And that was a very simplistic way to talk about poker. I have way more poker thoughts that I should not share on this show because it would get way too deep in the weeds. But nonetheless, I just think that's the difference. And I think you do need world leaders like Trump in positions of power in countries like ours, the United States, that are potentially willing to take action to make cooler heads prevail. Other people need to be intimidated by us far more than they've ever been in this society or in the world. And they were not intimidated whatsoever by Biden. So I think that matters. So I just thought it was interesting that one of the bigger discussion points today is about Iran and the unsettlement or the unrest there, the upheaval, the craziness, about Venezuela and what they want to sit down and do. All of these little branches, all of these little pieces feel tied back to a person that most of the rest of the world accepts may be willing to act, which is very different than what we had before. All right, quick break. A little bit more coming up. Greg Collins filling in. Tony Katz in the Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Tickets are on sale right now for Trump 1 year later. The highs, the lows, how we win the midterms. Happening at the Hyatt Regency, downtown Indianapolis. The bourbon will flow. The food will be fantastic. We're going to go over Trump's past year and how we use that to win the midterms. It's going to be informing, entertaining, and very, very funny. I promise. Join us, Trump 1 year later. Brought to you by Premier Arms, PA Jewelers, Defiance Beef, Chimney Solutions, and WIBC. Get your your tickets at WIBC.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Wheat Grow Hair Indy. You know, champions just don't show up. They pick the right team to get the best results. And when it comes to restoring your hair, We Grow Hair Indy is that team. You know, 5 years ago, I made the choice to head over to We Grow Hair Indy, and every time I look in the mirror, I'm so glad I did. You know, guys at the top of their game, radio personalities, coaches, and well-known athletes have all trusted We Grow Hair Indy to restore their hair. Why? Because their results are permanent, natural, and speak for themselves. Here's what you do. You call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Schedule a totally free, no-hassle, no-obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, the fine folks at We Grow Hair Indy, will take a look at what's going on top of your head and make some suggestions on how you can get your hair and your confidence back. Then it's up to you. In the meantime, see some other folks who have made the choice to get their confidence back by heading over to WeGrowHairIndy.com. 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again, my blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis. Only $59.99. Destroy unwanted cravings. January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking at 8. Or January 31st, Holiday Inn Express Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking at 2. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
Matt Bear, out of the roads, look.
Craig, we have a couple of crashes. One coming down to downtown. It's eastbound 70 out of the north split before Rural Street, and this blocks the left lane, causing a slowdown into the split and onto northbound 65-70 back to East 10th. Northeast side crash. Northbound 69 before 96th Street. That's on the shoulder. No delay. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Cold for the next few days. As the temperature here in Indianapolis, or the weather here in Indianapolis, it is 19 degrees, although it feels like 12 with wind chill, a high of 29. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Experience Trump 1 year later with Tony Katz on January 24th at 6 p.m. Enjoy thought-provoking discussion, tasty hors d'oeuvres, and a chance to mingle with others. Thanks to our sponsor, PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. More info at WIBC.com.
Here's 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Matt Bear hanging out as he does every single day on this show. Producer Kylan on special assignment as well with us here. Philip Rivers confirmed via an interview he did, I think, on Up and Adam's show, which is a internet talk show, that he truly is done. He's truly retiring from the NFL now that he won't be starting in the finale for the Colts here in Texas. Where I live, they'll be playing the Texans in Houston. I think this is very disappointing. Not that Philip Rivers won't play next year. That makes sense. The father of 10, who's in his 40s and had been retired for multiple years and was eligible for the Hall of Fame, probably wasn't going to, go back and do a whole off season and then actually try to play for an entire year. But they should let him play on Sunday. This should not be a Riley Leonard start. It doesn't need to be. The man has been sitting on the bench the entire time already. I know he was injured, and I know he's a former Notre Dame kid. So I'm somewhat a fan of Riley Leonard, as I am a fan of Notre Dame. But come on, man. One more game for Rivers. I don't care if you win or lose. There's nothing to play for the Colts. Let the man play football. I don't know why we're doing this, why we're letting him retire now instead of a week later.
Yeah, Godspeed, Phillip Rivers. That was fun. It was cool.
It was fun.
I was one of the guys who wasn't big on the idea, but, Riley Leonard was hurt and they had to do something, so I guess that was the solution. And he had a couple of good seasons here in Indianapolis, and it's, there was one play last week I did see, and the Colts were taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Phillip Rivers was sacked, but it was kind of like because the offensive line got pushed back into him, and he just fell down. And I thought to myself, how is this working right now? How is this working? How is this 40? I'm 47. I'm like, I don't understand how you can move like he does in the pocket. Remember, he's not moving at all. He's barely moving. He's not moving. But I'm looking at it impressed as a 40-year-old man. I'm like, wow, that's really good. But there was that point where he just kind of got pushed into his lineman, fell over, and I'm like, okay, maybe we've had about enough
as much as you can have. Come on, one more game though. That's okay. Here's the thing: if the Colts had anything to play for, and if Riley Leonard had been playing more often than just this one start at the end of the season, I would be on board with you. And actually, when they first announced this, if I were Riley Leonard, I would have been really upset. And I know, again, they said he was hurt and whatnot. I'm not sure that I fully believe that, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter. I'm not going conspiracy theory there. I just think that it's kind of ridiculous that we have one game left. The fun story that was Rivers. I don't care if he looks like an old man part of the time. I don't know that Colts fans really care that he looks like an old man part of the time. It's fun to watch the guy play because occasionally when he looks great, it makes me feel better about myself. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but for Colts fans right now, I think, at least for this guy, my thing is I just want to see some sort of positive reinforcement for the future. That's all we want to see. And Riley Leonard,
he's much more of a future than Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, and he's also being started against arguably the best defense in the league. So
sure, that's true.
It's going to be a tough straw for him to draw. But if he could go out and get some production done, at least you could lead the season being like, okay, Daniel Jones, Riley Leonard. But it's tough to go forward right now as a Colts fan, looking at your franchise and your team. There's not a lot of things to feel great about. It's not despair necessarily, but you just look at it like, all right, let's go. Let's see something.
Let's get one more game done. Yeah. See. Again, though, and I guess it's more selfish than anything else that I just want to see him play here because I can actually go to this game here in Houston for the final game. I saw the Pacers play earlier this week. I talked to Kylan about that, filling in on a different show. And going into the game, I was under the impression that the Pacers were good at basketball because I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the NBA. I was wrong about that. The Pacers are definitely not good at basketball. They are exceptionally bad. No offense to them. I know that a big injury that happened last year is a huge component of why they struggle.
Brutal.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was just brutal, Craig. Think about this. Even if I didn't live in Indianapolis, okay. A star player, the best player on the team, has a leg injury that's going to keep him out for the entire rest of the season, not to mention until the end of the playoffs, which is one more game, winner take all. Not only that, but it's just you feel so snake bitten as a pro fan here in Indianapolis right now. Sure. And that Tyrese Halliburton, people love him here in Indianapolis.
He isn't just the best player on the. Yeah, he isn't just the best player on the Pacers. He's one of the best players in the league and was like an MVP candidate.
Oh,
so I understand that.
Such a gut punch, man. You just felt like your insides were ripped out. It was horrible. So,
but that was what was funny about it. I assumed since they were in the playoffs last year until that injury happened, they looked like they might even shock some people in the playoffs. And then all of a sudden they're terrible. They're like truly remarkably bad this year. And I don't mean to be mean, but watching Kevin Durant put up 30 on them like it was nothing at his age is something.
We'll be back. The Pacers will be back. The Colts, we're holding our cautious optimism, and
it's a remix
putting
here.
It nicely.
Maybe Phillip Rivers can play point guard. Maybe we can try that out to see how that works. Actually, wouldn't that be amazing? Come on, man.
That'd be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Just one, maybe one.
Just one game.
Series. Yeah.
Yeah. Let Phillip Rivers play for the Pacers for a week. Just 1 week. Phillip Rivers lines up. He goes in, does whatever he wants. It would be amazing. I would have a lot of fun with that.
What about Phillip Rivers as a pacemate? You could try that too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's a good. All right. I don't know why I'm going to talk about this now, man. Oh, this is so weird. I know I'm going to do it. Screw it. We have a couple minutes left, and then we're taking a break, and it's the holiday. I met a baseball cheerleader here in Houston because the Houston Astros have baseball cheerleaders. And I asked her what it's like being a baseball cheerleader, and I think she actually just quit because it wasn't as fun as she thought it would be. But it's an odd sport to have cheerleaders that pop up on top of the dugouts and dance 3 or 4 times a game. It's still entertaining. I'm not going to pretend I didn't enjoy it. And I didn't, like meeting her and chit-chatting with her about it. But it feels forced, that world of cheerleading, which is why I guess a lot of baseball teams don't have it. Do you want to react to that? You mentioned the Pacemates. Do you want to talk about baseball and how they are missing the cheerleader part of the experience?
I didn't know this was going on.
at
Baseball
least for the
changed so
Astros.
much. Yeah, that's a crazy thing. I didn't know that they had cheerleaders in baseball, and I thought at least a little bit dialed into sports. But okay, so what kind of cheerleaders? I mean, my first thought that
they had the pom-poms and everything, man.
Okay,
Same thing.
Pom-poms. All right. Wow.
Yeah, everything. And they'd get up on the dugout like 3 times a game after each third of the game, 3rd, 6th, 9th inning, and they just dance on the dugout. Like cheerleaders anywhere else doing. And they have very finite space, by the way, man. So not a lot of flipping and throwing people like you see at the other things, because that dugout, not a lot there. And if you throw somebody and they go wild, they're going to land on third base. Like, that's going to be very terrible for all involved.
Not a lot of tumbling here. Not a lot.
No,
Okay.
not a lot of that. It really was just pom-pom dancing. And you can't hear them. The other thing that was funny about it, like nobody gave them microphones, and I was not sitting close enough to the dugout to hear them. So I think the biggest challenge with the cheerleaders is you have no idea what they're saying. You just see them, moving and saying stuff, but it could be anything. So I imagine it was something like "Go Astros." I'm going to assume that was what they were saying, but I had no idea yet.
Yeah, Yankees suck. Maybe that was another one. I say that as a Yankees fan.
Thanks for that. You say that as a Yankee fan too? I didn't know you were a Yankee fan.
Oh yeah, I'm a Yankees fan.
I think we ever talked about that. Why?
Yeah, it's kind of in the closet, Well, it started in like 94, 95.
Yeah.
We moved from St. Louis or south of St. Louis, and I was a Cardinals fan, so we moved to Central Indiana, where there's no, I know, right, where there's no baseball team, but I just started liking the Yankees because I thought the Yankees were cool. So
you guys have a AAA team, don't you?
Yeah, they're so much fun. The Indianapolis Indians, they have this beautiful stadium, one of the best in baseball, actually, and it's right downtown. Just the best family experience. Just the best experience. I mean, it's one of those things where you can be like, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, let's see if I can get tickets to the Indians tonight. And everybody goes see the Indians. It's the best. It really is.
And they don't have any cheerleaders.
No,
Indianapolis Indians.
No,
they should think about that.
My mind is blown. I'd never heard of this. Yeah.
They should try. They should think about it. They should get in on it. It'd be great. It'd be fun to do that whole thing for one more sport that doesn't have them at all. All right. Before we get out of here, one last thing that I'll just throw out there as far as the new year goes, the new holiday goes. I mentioned this before. A lot of people were saying that a New Year's resolution in and of itself is not a terribly good idea. Puts too much pressure on you to change one thing immediately that maybe you're not changing. But there is another idea out there that it's a New Year's resolution that you can do, slowly, like you ramp up to whatever the version is of fully giving up on it. So in the vein of that, I think that's a better idea. I like that a lot. And I'm going to promise on the radio, because the missus is making me do this at the end of the show, that I will give up soda at some point in 2026. It'll happen eventually. I don't know if anyone wants to join me in a thing they're going to give up by the end of this year.
That sounds like the ultimate demand right there. You have to start immediately. I mean,
it's too hard.
Yeah, 365 days to go here, maybe. I agree with that a lot.
Okay.
You just say all of a sudden I'm going to cut back on drinking, or I'm just going to stop drinking, and whatever that looks like, you have to do something more than just be impulsive about it a lot of times because your health is at risk. So, in a lot of things, I would like to see people gradually try and make lifestyle changes instead of just saying, New Year's resolution.
Amen.
It's a lot.
Well, and the nice thing is that I usually fill in on the holidays. So by the end of 2026, we'll be able to check and see if I'm still drinking soda. So please remember that now. Matt's got traffic. I'll see you guys later.
All right. Happy New Year, Craig Kylan. Looking at southbound 65, looking pretty good right now until you get to the north split. And then there's a crash on eastbound 70 coming out of the north split, blocking 2 left lanes. So it is creating a delay onto northbound 6570 right now to Michigan Street. Please be careful in that area. Also on the northeast side, crash northbound 69 before 96th Street, and that's going to be on the shoulder. Areas of black ice reported here this morning, like 6570 at Washington Street, and also I-65 between Lafayette Road and 38th Street. If they can be there anywhere, they could be anywhere. That's the black ice. Please be aware of that. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in tax debt? Do not ignore this message. The IRS has more power than any collection agency in America. Often without warning, they can garnish your wages, levy your bank account, place a lien on your home, seize assets like your business, and revoke your passport. Every year, thousands lose their paychecks overnight or have their assets seized because they waited too long. You don't have to face the IRS alone. Call Federated Tax today. We'll connect you with an experienced tax professional who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. You may qualify for IRS hardship programs like the Fresh Start Initiative or many other programs that can stop garnishments, stop bank account seizures, reduce or eliminate penalties, and lower your settlement amount. You deserve to maintain your life. Don't let the IRS take it over. Make the call today to Federated Tax, 370-1384. The call and consultation are absolutely free. 800-370-1384. 800-370-1384.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down. Get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
The Attorney General's Office